Strykers win!
Across the nation, MASL players are giving back, utilizing their professional power to touch and inspire people in their local communities nationwide. Free soccer clinics, where kids can meet their heroes and learn new skills. After-school programs and special events. And surprise visits to the classroom. Visiting brave kids in the hospital, bringing joy and hope. Supporting special needs care, partnering with local businesses, and so much more. MASL, passion on the field, purpose off the field, committed to community.
Hello and welcome to the beautiful Toyota Arena in Ontario, California for a presentation of the Major Arena Soccer League on Amazon Prime and MASL TV. Tonight, the Empire Fury host the 16-time Lords of Indoor San Diego Sockers. With playoff implications on the line for the Fury/Strykers, this should no doubt be a competitive matchup. Hello again, everybody. My name is Christian Filliman, better known as Philly, and joining me, the man with the X's and the O's, the coach, Artie Kyrell.
What a great night it's going to be, Philly, here, Toyota Arena. Captain Fury, Israel Cisse, having his final appearance here. And you need no motivation for Soccer's Fury. It's going to be an outlet. It's going to be a gauntlet of an affair.
It's a series that has been historically dominated by the Sockers, but also this season as well. The Strykers have found a different level of competitiveness. Last night, less than 24 hours ago, the Strykers did lead the Sockers by 2 goals, but 5 unanswered from San Diego propelled them to a victory. But with that being less than 24 hours ago, how does that implicate today's game, Artie?
Champions do what champions do. And the Strykers, Fury, young team, they've got the recipe of success. Now they need to develop that recipe of a champion. And they get one more crack at it tonight before they go into the playoffs. Biggest thing is to find those ingredients that are going to put them over the top and steal the show.
San Diego Sockers are led in points by Charlie Gonzalez, in goals by Tavoy Morgan, and keep an eye on Craig Childs, 2 goals shy from 300. Again, it's Israel Cisse night. Cisse, the longest reigning member of this organization, will be playing in what could potentially be his final game under the bright lights of Toyota Arena. With there being 2 playoff spots left and 3 teams, the Strykers absolutely need to clinch a victory today or have Tacoma lose to Kansas City. Either way, it's going to be a competitive night. Folks, we've laid the table for you. We're going to get ready for the start of today's game. Will the Sockers lord their way over the Strykers or the Fury in this building, or will the Empire strike back? Stick around and find out. You are watching the Major Arena Soccer League on Amazon Prime and MASL TV.
Hey everybody, tonight we are honoring San Antonio Regional Hospital, and I'm joined tonight by the President and CEO, John Chapman. John, thank you for being here tonight.
It's fantastic to be here.
Absolutely, love having you here. And as a multi-year sponsor of the Empire Strikers, can you tell our fans a little bit about San Antonio Regional Hospital's initiatives?
Sure. Well, we want San Antonio Regional Hospital is here for the community, much like the Strikers are. They fill a gap for entertainment, community involvement, and we like to think we do the same at San Antonio Regional. So, for instance, some of the new initiatives that are coming aboard is we're just starting a residency program that'll graduate over 20 primary care physicians per year.
Wow.
And as you know, in this county, this is the worst county in the state of California for the ratio of primary care to community.
Oh, wow.
We're going to change that.
I love that so much. Now, you talked about the community. Why is it so important that you guys are participating in the community activities outside of healthcare, like this partnership with the Strikers, with your institution? Why is that so important?
Well, community is more than just an emergency room. Community is about wellness. And whether a family comes in and enjoys a game, this is a quality program. They want to know that San Antonio is part of it, and we're a quality program as well.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And, I can't thank you guys enough for your partnership with the Strikers. We could not do this and would not be here without you. So again, thank you so much for that. And thank you for being here today.
Look forward to the game.
Can't wait. Let's do it.
All right.
Wait, 6 miles, runway 26 right, right on.
You are looking live at Toyota Arena in Ontario, California. It's a presentation of the Major Arena Soccer League. The Empire Strikers host the Lords of Indoor, the San Diego Sockers. And speaking of the Major Arena Soccer League, the MASL is proud to welcome you to MASL Soccer on MASL TV. MITRE, the official game ball supplier of the Major Arena Soccer League. Established in 1817, MITRE is one of the leading soccer brands worldwide and produces some of the best soccer balls in the world. Learn more at mitre.com. And we can't forget about Capelli. Capelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. The all-new MASL fan store will be launching soon. Folks, my name's Christian Phillim, and I'm joined by Artie Kyrell. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get down to the business of indoor soccer, folks. Playoff implications on the line. The Sockers taking on the Fury, and we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Toyota Arena. There you see the players lining up with the kids. You're seeing the stands. You're seeing everything. It's going to be a glorious day here in the Empire, and a glorious day because we are celebrating Israel Cisse, the captain. After 12 seasons with the Empire Strikers franchise, Izzy Cisse is retiring from the game. Those of you who follow the sport know that he was part of the inaugural Ontario Fury team in 2013 for the PASL days, and immediately made a splash by scoring the first goal in franchise history against the Dallas Sidekicks. In 7 games in that first season, scored 5 goals, 7 points, before briefly finishing the year with the Las Vegas Legends. Returning for the Fury's first season in the newly rebranded MASL, and he's been part of this franchise ever since. 204 regular season games, 62 goals, 108 points, 12 playoff games with 2 goals and 6 points there. He's also represented Team USA multiple times in international friendly matches against Mexico, and he's got quite a few records and milestones that we're going to be talking about. Artie, you've been part of this organization for quite some time. You've been following the league for quite some time. Talk to us about Israel Cisse.
Just a class act, unbelievable man. Just his story that you're going to get into later is just tremendous. He shared it one time at a team meeting, just very emotional. He's such a proud man, so proud of this organization, proud of this community. He has his roots deep-rooted in the Inland Empire. I'm so happy to see this crowd. It's just super exciting. The man deserves it. He's earned it. Just great conversation. I'm looking forward to the night so I can just share those stories with you, Philly, just on the bus every time, always asking questions. Even though he had a tremendous career, he was always asking questions all the way. He's probably asking questions today.
Asking questions indeed, although he didn't have time to see the videotape film that head coach Anu Abbasi was showing because he was too busy getting interviewed by us and getting interviewed by Panda and everybody. I mean, it's a big day for him and a very big day for the Empire Strikers as they quickly go back to the retro era. Pretty darn cool, Artie, seeing the old Fury logo.
Loving the red, loving the red suit you're sporting there, Philly. It's just exciting. It was great to hear the old Fury song before the game, just bopping away. Great times.
I tell you, from a selfish perspective, I'm kind of glad that we went to the retro night because there's only so many suits that you can find in the color purple, Artie. I bring out the red out of retirement, rocking the red Air Jordans. It's going to be a fun one. Now, getting into this game, both these two teams, they played each other less than 24 hours ago. Obviously, this is a game that means more to the Empire than it does to the San Diego Sockers. They've clinched. The Empire is still on the outside looking in, and by what we're seeing with the scoreline between Tacoma and Kansas City, Tacoma's not going to make it easy for the Empire to clinch.
No, they're not going to make it easy, and I don't, this is a rivalry, Philly. There was some emotions going deep last night. It's going to definitely carry over into today. Neither franchise wants to acquiesce to either one, and that's what makes this rivalry beauty. This crowd, it's just going to be awesome because, front wave, here's Toyota Arena.
Yeah, you're not kidding. It's pretty loud in here, and just even walking around the concourse 10 minutes ago, there were still people piling to get in. I know 7,000 tickets were distributed. The record for an indoor game here at Toyota Arena was for a USA-Mexico game, and if you're hearing the crowd through your speakers, that's because the captain, wearing the captain's armband, getting the start tonight, Israel Cisse. And Artie just looking down on him. Sometimes it's hard to recognize him without the dreads. The dreads made it, but Israel Cisse, number 23 on the field, but number 1 in terms of this franchise in so many categories.
So many categories. Just a mentor, a young mentor to all these young players. His experience and his humility, just his humility is just tremendous. So happy for him. Here's the question, Philly, is Cisse going to bang in a toe banger tonight? He's famous for those.
He is famous for those, and he does have 1 goal this season, so you never know. I mean, this is a very important night. But folks, we're gonna take a moment to take a break here for the singing of the national anthem, and when we get back, the business of soccer, Sockers versus Strikers. Sorry, the Fury. Back in a moment. MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. Green Drop offers a better alternative than the outdated compression sleeves and socks, truly providing long-lasting relief at an affordable price. Green Drop's recovery products are uniquely suited to help our athletes battle aching joints and muscles. Learn more or try it yourself by visiting greendropcompression.com. Your starters for the game, first for the visiting San Diego Sockers, number 80, Luis Morales, number 31, Mitchell Cardenas, Leo de Oliveira, Drew Ruggles, Christian Gutierrez, and my eyes are not deceiving me, nor are your eyes, MASL fans, making his 165th career start, the Wall. Artie, Danny Waltman is in the building.
Danny Waltman, what an exciting moment for a lot of people. Cisse tonight, return of Danny Waltman. Talking to Danny before the game, he's really excited to get out here. He had a premonition he'd be here when he saw Boris go down. But that's kind of the pro and preparation guy Danny is. He saw that, saw the opportunity, and it came to fruition. So hopefully the Strikers fury unleash on him early, because he's gonna get a good feel for it as the game goes on.
It took me like a season or two to get used to not saying Fury, instead saying Strikers. Now it's going to be a smorgasbord of craziness going on in my head. And speaking of which, the starters for the Empire Fury, you have in between the sticks today, Clayson De Lima. He's joined by Justin Stinson, Marco Fabian, Harold Hansen, Robert Palmer, and apropos, in the middle, shaking hands, kissing babies, Israel Cisse. Now, rust versus rest isn't anything that's going to apply to either team. A very competitive match, and they've been very competitive historically. But this season in particular, Artie, the back and forth between the Strikers and the Sockers has been interesting. And anytime that the Strikers would seem to get any kind of an edge, it's as if San Diego would flip a switch and go, nah. Hold my drink and watch this. And then 5 unanswered goals just the other night. I mean, they came through aggressively. A team filled with so many veterans and now a sprinkle of talent. It was amazing how many goals they rattled off in the fourth quarter last night.
They just stay committed to what they do. And Charlie said that after the game. They just stay dialed in, elevate their level and their commitment to what it is that they do, and they grind. I mean, that's what a champion does, is you grind. The competitive nature of the game is built for error and mistake as you put pressure on yourselves, and these guys just grind and stay focused on the job at hand, and you saw that. And Darren Sawatsky's little shout out to Darren. He told Jet, keep your emotions in check. So hopefully tonight the Strikers can do that, because the game got a little chippy and it changed a little bit when the emotions got a little out of hand, and that's going to be a key thing for the veteran team. I'm sure they noticed that as well. It might kind of pull little triggers there.
No, of course. We had the opportunity to talk with Soccer's trainer, Paul Savage, and he had mentioned in that fourth quarter that the team got a stern talking to by the captain, Craig Childs, and clearly what Captain Craig mentioned and said to his team lit a spark under them, because, again, rattling off 5 goals unanswered, incredible. And as we mentioned during our pregame show, Craig is only 2 goals shy of getting 300 in the MASL. We know the PASL stats are where they are, but obviously for the course of this, we're referencing the MASL. 2 goals puts him to 300. Amazing milestones. And if you look at his stats just for this season, the man's not slowing down. In the 19 games that he's played, 20 goals, 7 assists, 27 points, aging like a fine wine, if I do say so myself.
He's just a master of his domain. He knows what he wants, when he wants, and how he wants it. You see his runs are educated and mature. You see his effort to get off the floor when it's not his time is equally as it is to put an effort to goal. Just a consummate professional. He could go on for quite a long time.
Speaking of consummate professionals, the public address announcer John Spire honoring Israel Cisse. For those of you who don't know, Cisse came to the United States from Sierra Leone, not to play soccer, mainly to escape the civil war that was ripping through the country. Wasn't even something that he was looking to do in terms of playing soccer, but his family members in Maryland realized that he played, and he obviously took it to a really high level, playing at the IMG Academy. In fact, he had math class with Maria Sharapova back then. Incredible. Becomes a member of the LA Galaxy, subs into a game for Kyle Martino, becomes the youngest member of the Galaxy to take the pitch. And imagine this, you're leaving high school, you're leaving your prom, and the next thing you know, you've got a locker right next to David Beckham. How wild is that?
That is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy and impressive. And here he is now, just reaping the benefits of all these years of investment into the game, feeling the love.
He's played in so many games with this organization. Would love to continue to extend that streak into the playoffs, but in order for that to happen, the Strikers are going to need to come up with a win. I know you want to rely in some cases on the opposition, and it's at the time of this, looks like it's 5-4 in Tacoma's favor. Tacoma's not going to make it any easy. They've obviously gotten red hot, but the Strikers would rather control their own destiny by winning as opposed to leaving it in the hands of anybody else. That's what I think a true winner and true champion needs to think.
As we spoke earlier, that's part of the ingredients. You know, everything else is irrelevant. It's you get out, perform, and beat who's in front of you. And that's what these guys got to do, and that's what they want to do. Seeing the guys before, you could see it in their eyes. You can see it in their eyes. They're ready to compete. So it's going to be a great game for the fans here at Toyota Arena.
Yeah, we're minutes away from the start of this game, but we're going to take 10 as in 10 seconds to tell you that that's all the time you'll need for Eric Bergrud to take you inside the game and get to know some of the big stars advancing the indoor sport on and off the field. 10 for 10 airs weekly on MASL TV. Speaking of which, playoffs around the corner, tickets are available. Join 8 of our MASL teams in sunny San Diego as they square off in the Ron Newman MASL Cup. Visit frontwavearena.com to reserve your seat today. Harold Hansen set to start things off for the Empire Strikers in the midfield. Just moments away for that. Your officials today: Kyle Trimble, Joseph Salinas, Adrian Gonzalez, and Steve Skilly. In the series between Empire and San Diego, 45-9 is where the Sockers stand. The Empire Strikers have not been part of the MASL playoffs since the 2021 season, a game in which they lost to the champions in the finals, the San Diego Sockers. In Cisse's last season, what a going out it would be if the Strikers can clinch a playoff spot. More importantly, make some noise.
Definitely want to make some noise.
And we are underway. MASL on MASL TV and Amazon Prime, live from Toyota Arena. Now, folks, I stand corrected. On our roster sheet, we were told that Clayson DeLima would get the start, but it looks like it's going to be Brian Orozco. Brian Orozco, the youngster, who features for the Guatemalan national senior team, played the U17s for Guatemalan Giants Comunicaciones, and scored some bangers this season. 3 goals and an assist. He's had an incredible coming out party to his young career.
Don't forget that $1 million smile the kid's got.
Oh, 100%. Hansen battling into the corner. Harold Hansen has really picked up some steam late in this season. Ball comes into Cisse. Cisse sandwiched it between a couple of Sockers. Christian Gutierrez with an opportunity. Christian Gutierrez slides it through for the first goal of the game. Sockers go up quickly, less than 60 seconds into the match.
Just a tough situation there for Cisse. Got the ball caught under him. A little heavy. Maybe the pregame.
There we see Gutierrez sliding it through. Strong start for Golden Gutierrez, as he is known. He has been a striker / Fury killer throughout the entirety of his career. And as far as goals are concerned this season, registers his 4th. Into the game for the Strikers, a familiar face from Milwaukee Wave fans that we haven't seen much of this season. Alex Bradley into the game. Bradley's been battling injuries throughout the course of the season. Coming in last year for Milwaukee, a veteran who's got a championship pedigree, having won the Ron Newman Cup with the Wave. And he couldn't have come back at a better time. And they're good, and the Strikers are going to need his defensive prowess as they already find themselves down 1-0 with less than 90 seconds into this game.
Yeah, very good timing for him to come back. Look at me, he's on the ball, just getting the tempo back, getting everybody calm. Big lot of game. We play 4 quarters for a reason, so I think it's a great addition for the Strikers.
I like that. That's certainly a way to incorporate the 2 names. There's an attempt. Kick saved by Danny Waldman.
Save goalkeeper. That's for Chewy. Coach Chewy, he wanted me to say that one, but great save by Danny. Just quick reflexes.
Oh my gosh, absolutely robbing George De Leon of a goal. Danny Waltman's, living on the 4th floor in terms of his age. That was an incredible stop, showing us that the nickname that he received, the Wall, is for a reason.
multi-lever system, you know, going down with that open hurdler stance and the windmill at the bottom. I think I'd need traction after that.
I think I pulled my groin just watching him make that save. Ball comes into Randy Martinez. Talk about another youngster for the Empire that's really picked up. Strikers are looking to press aggressively. They are a team that loves to utilize the sixth attacker, bringing their keeper into the fold. Brian Orozco is that keeper who has a couple of goals this season. Ball comes into Justin Stinson. Stinson over to Palmer. Palmer offensively has been a dynamo this year. And actually, I stand corrected. I thought that was Robert Palmer. No, that was Momo Guy. Getting the lay of the land here. We are high up in Toyota Arena. I do apologize.
The jerseys.
And the jerseys, yeah. I saw the 1. I didn't see the 5. But either way, Palmer is back onto the turf. Pass into the corner. Talk about another player that it's kind of tough to recognize without the blazing colored hair, Justin Stinson.
Yeah, talking to Justin before the game, you know, kid has a great game last night offensively, and talking to him today, you know what he talks about was that mistake on the header. I mean, what growth of the kid, young man, in understanding what it's going to take to win a championship.
Compared to us, they're all kids, so I don't think you need to stand corrected. Strikers are looking to spread the defense of the Sockers. Marco Fabian, Marco the Magnificent, is going to take a foul, much to the chagrin of Christian Gutierrez. Let's take a look at that replay again.
Just a little cut, a little knee to knee there.
Marco's going to fire it. What a save! But they're going to call that one back. Apparently Marco operated too quickly. No, he was feeling kind of froggy. He hopped from one lily pad to another, but impressive, though, is the reaction by Danny Waltman.
Yeah, Marco was going with that drag race start.
And he kicks it into a wall.
Oh, boy.
Fabian's going to get called for the foul on the other side in the midfield.
That's 2 feet away from a blue card right there, so lucky for Marco.
There we see Craig Childs wearing the captain's armband for the San Diego Sockers. Between Childs and Cisse, that's a lot of games in indoor soccer.
A lot of memories. Imagine.
They could tell stories for days, if not weeks.
One of my greatest experiences. I had dinner with Craig in the Combine a few years back, just sitting around with Jimmy Nordberg having a steak dinner, and the stories those guys were talking to him is just craziness. So I mean, that's one of the greatest things that Cisse is going to take with him. It's just all the stories he has with these young men, and you know, the mentoring, and just, that's what keeps you going.
And we officially have a final score. Tacoma beats Kansas City 5-4. So the Empire will need to win this game if they look to clinch. Still got another game ahead of them. So they'll be heading to the Dallas to take on the Sidekicks next week. But we're not worried about that so much as we're worried about the game today.
100% Philly. I'll tell you what, this young team, they want to get it. They want to go get it. They don't want anybody to give it to them. They want to get that point themselves.
There's a shot right into the capable hands of Brian Orozco. Just watching this young man develop before our very eyes, just incredible. An incredible talent, and has a long, illustrious career waiting for him.
100%.
Bradley's going to go back to Orozco. Orozco facing some pressure from Sebastian Mendez, intercepted by Tavoy Morgan. Leo de Oliveira tried to go back to Tavoy, taken away by the... I'm going to say the Strikers. Anytime I say the Strikers, Artie, you're going to have to kick or pinch me because we're the Fury tonight.
It'll be a kick. I'm not going to pinch a Fury. I mean, pinch a Philly.
Wait, no, my name is Philly, not Fury.
Yeah. It's the jersey. It's the red suit. It's the red suit.
Fair enough. We brought it out of retirement. Fabian.
Just like the Schlitz commercial back in the day.
Well, that's, wow, now you're really showing signs of your age.
And my habits.
I mean, it's Sunday. Sundays are for the boys, as they say. Well, I think that's Saturdays. Either way, we're having some fun here, and hope you are too.
It's the weekend.
There you see the Strikers trying to extend. Oh, there we go again. The Strikers trying to extend. And Leo de Oliveira had an open net. As that ball comes off of Drew Ruggles. Drew Ruggles, just a brilliant addition to head coach Phil Salvaggio's team, a defender of the year, and it's really tough to get by Big Drew.
You know, that quick repress is what's creating problems for teams with this pushing six with Brian coming forward. You know, if Leo would have just did a little soul roll to his right and he could have just clipped it, but he wanted to go early. And a lot of the teams are trying to do that. They're not in rhythm to play. They just see the goalkeeper out. And I think it's a great, I mean, that's part of the ploy here with this pushing six, is that repress is getting on pressure on the ball right away.
Brilliant observation. That's why we have you here, the X's and O's. For those who are unaware, Artie did serve as the assistant coach of this organization a couple of seasons ago. Artie's been around the game for quite some time, both indoor and outdoor, and that's why we bring him in to utilize his expertise and the fact that we love that ponytail.
Long live Jet.
Absolutely. Talk more about Joseph Kyrell momentarily. Justin Stinson over to Ciro. Ciro into Palmer. Palmer's up. Another save by Waltman. Danny the Wall saves in succession. Ciro runs into a Ruggles brick wall. Kicks it over to Stinson. Stinson to Fabian. He's going to wind up. That's going to come off of Gutierrez.
Woo! Danny Waltman making Artie Kyrell eat his words. Thinking he might be a little rusty. The man has come out of the chute like a bullet.
Utterly impressive. Fabian tries to skirt it through. Some miscommunication there, but Danny Waltman at Washington. Go Huskies. Just a stellar career, playing for the Tacoma Stars the vast majority of his career. And I know that opened up a lot of people's eyes when we saw the signing earlier. What a move by Charlie Gonzalez, sliding through, nearly open. Taken away off of the wall. Broke it up. He goes into Ben Raymond. Look at the defense by Mansoret. The Fury trying to break through the defensive wall, and it's gone. George De Leon with a counter opportunity. De Leon gets that ball poked away from him, but he recovers. And he's going to get pushed off the ball. No question about that. Foul going against Luis Morales.
That's an unnecessary foul there from Morales. Maybe George took it.
Leon of the Empire Strikers was teammates with Sebastian Mendez and Luis Morales of the San Diego Sockers. They played for the Texas Outlaws. There's a shot that gets deflected. An attempt by Justin Stinson's going to go into the netting. And folks, we're going to take a media timeout here with 7 minutes and 9 seconds. The score, San Diego 1, Empire 0. Back in a moment.
With 6 miles, runway 26 right, right on.
Across the nation, MASL players are giving back, utilizing their professional after-school programs and special events, and surprise visits to the classroom. Visiting brave kids in the hospital, bringing joy and hope. Supporting special needs care, partnering with local businesses, and so much more. MASL, passion on the field, purpose off the field, committed to community.
Back here, quick corner kick restart for the Strikers. So the first goal of the game scored by Christian Gutierrez. nabbing his 4th goal of the season, already doubling his goal total from last year in his 7th season here in the MASL out of Tijuana, Mexico. The Sockers have not had that many shots. In fact, the only shot they've had really has been the goal by Gutierrez. The Fury with 7 shots to begin this game, and Danny Waltman has been on a tear, making save after save already. Fabian clearing the yellow line, 6 minutes 33 remaining here in this first quarter.
See the Sockers just building the house, being patient, getting behind the ball.
Palmer's shot just above the crossbar. Talk about another player that's been keen offensively. Robert Palmer, really known for his defensive abilities, but he's leading the Strikers / Fury in assists, and he's really scoring a lot of goals too. Strikers working out of the back for a good portion of their offense this season. There you see the fancy footwork from Brian Orozco getting out of trouble. Picked up by Ben Raymond. He's going to go to Waltman. Over the head of Cardenas as Palmer's going to recover.
Simple clearance from Danny there. Now they'll just build the house again as the Strikers are going to kind of push the build.
Brian Orozco comes off. In comes Clayson De Lima. De Lima, a former MASL goalkeeper of the year. And we're going to see that quite a bit throughout today's game, as we've seen all season long. Head coach, the $1 million man of the Empire, Onu Obasi, likes to filter through goalkeepers, and he's had some talent between Brandon Gomez, who isn't in the lineup today, Brian Orozco, who we've talked about, and Clayson De Lima, who just took the turf. Stinson over to Bradley. Bradley sees Sebastian Mendez charging in front of him. Goes back over to George De Leon.
Nice to see George back as well. I think he's a key part of the success going forward is his health and playing.
And he too has memories being a member of the Fury. De Leon's played in today's, counting today's 14th game. He's got 7 goals, 8 assists, 15 points on the season. Would love to add to that total. What I do know in conversations with him, he's happy to be back in California. He loves it out here.
Yeah, indeed.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, you look outside, it's gorgeous, and it's 79 degrees. Shout out to our friends in Utica and Milwaukee, by the way. Hansen.
I was in San Diego this morning for games at the youth club. It was a chilly 68 at the beach.
Yes, I'm sure if we still had the old YouTube chats, we'd catch a lot of hate. Fabian with a shot. That one ricochets. A close call. Contact made on the turf. That's going to be a foul. That goes against Justin Stinson.
That was a good example of what makes life difficult for the officials. A front look and back look. Near the ref on here on the left side is waving it off, and the guy trailing it calls it. Drives players and coaches crazy when the trailer calls those.
Ruggles putting the ball in play to Tavoy Morgan. Morgan, the leading scorer for the Sockers this season. He's previously suspended, but he's back onto the turf. 26 goals and 7 assists on the year, 33 points. And ever since Tavoy Morgan has come to San Diego from the Harrisburg Heat, he really was one of the players to propel him to that 2021 Ron Newman Cup. Cisse getting in the way, achieving a block. Pass into Ruggles. And off the wall into De Lima.
That was a good read by Clayson, immediately jumping off for that first panel save.
Cisse did get stripped of the ball. That led to that goal by Gutierrez. Emotional day for the captain.
I think that's what it was too on the goal. You just kind of saw his legs are a little bit heavy. The pregame festivities just maybe affected his warm-up a little bit. But the game's going to have his, I'm sure the players are going to have his back.
They need to have each other's back, as there are 3 teams vying for a playoff spot. Strikers do have another game against the Dallas Sidekicks. Tacoma's been on a tear, and quite honestly, so is the St. Louis Ambush. Ambush are going to be playing the Dallas Sidekicks tomorrow, so that's going to be another game to pay attention to if you're a fan of the Strikers. Pass from Palmer. Randy Martinez kept it in play.
Yeah, St. Louis is really making a push. They've done a really good job turning the corner there after, they made some personnel changes.
They've gone through a lot of personnel changes this season. A lot of drama going on in that locker room, but they're making a hunt. They would like to end their playoff drought as well. It's only the Strikers, the Stars, and the Ambush that are not mathematically out of the postseason. 2 more playoff spots remaining, 3 teams. So this is a very big game for Empire. That one deflects. A sprint to the ball. Leo off the wall, into Ruggles. The defense comes up clutch once again. First San Diego taking the ball. Leo finds it off the wall to Drew Ruggles. It is a 2-goal San Diego lead.
That seems to be the theme of the day. Artie Kyrell, keep your mouth shut. Leo goes there. I said he could have done a soul roll earlier, and look at this beautiful. Boop. There it is. Thank you, says Drew Ruggles.
A Wallace Scora, and what that is for you folks that are unaware, off the wall leading to a one-timer, and we've seen a lot of Wallace scores. That didn't need all the peppering off the wall itself, but it clearly led to a Scora for Ruggles.
And it was clearly orchestrated. I mean, Leo saw Ruggles run, and it was easy. I can't play him on the invert, so I'm just going to go indirect Wallace score. Yeah, just beautiful.
Leo, a pass master on a number of occasions, nabbing his 17th assist of the season, his 20th point. For Ruggles, 11 goals now this campaign. Strikers find themselves down by 2 with 2 minutes remaining here in the first. Orozco back into the game. He's going to go into that corner to George De Leon. De Leon connects with Stinson. Stinson back over to Bradley. I know Alex Bradley is beyond thrilled to get back into this lineup. Must have been frustrating for him having to sit on the outside looking in. He's a gamer. He likes to play. He is a rough and tumble, rugged kind of guy in his first season in Empire, 7th in the league. He's a player that's traveled around quite a bit. Out of Milton Keynes, England. An interesting story. Youth career over at Watford, MK Dons, Luton, to name a couple.
Had his mom in town a couple of weeks ago, too, so she gets to see her young man play now.
I'm sure she was missing the weather in Milton Keynes, England, being here in Southern California. Shout out to the Bradley family in England. We know you're watching.
Definitely. That's just awesome when you see, you know, he's not a young pro, but here he is with his mom showing her around the arena like it's his first season, and his mom was just eating it up. It was such a wonderful moment to watch. I don't know Bradley very well, but it was just warmed my heart to see the purity of the game and the love of playing.
And there you see Bradley getting in the way of Sebastian Mendez, who had had a clear look at goal as Brian Orozco wasn't there. 40 seconds, less than 40 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. A beauty of a chip from Stinson into De Leon. Opportunity here for George. Tries to find Hansen. Action against the wall, recovered by Waltman.
It's a good recovery by Rahman there.
Yeah, Raymond has been another key addition to this team. He too has spent time at Milwaukee and Utica. Shot saved by Waltman.
Yeah, he had a rough one last night. He had a couple of things that, oh boy.
Oh, what a save! Denying Craig Childs. Brian Orozco put that one on MASL Monday.
Put that on ESPN. Top 10, that was incredible. Save goalkeeper.
It's like you saw that, Brew. Craig Childs, we've seen him score cheeky goals like that, but the athleticism, the display by Orozco, denying the man with the mustache. But with 2.7 seconds left, Strikers need to keep their eyes on the prize. Last thing they would want to do is head into the second quarter down with a 3-goal deficit.
San Diego's clinical here, so.
Very tough in these scenarios. Talking about tough, there's an assassin on the ball. Charlie Gonzalez puts it into play. But that's going to do it for the first quarter, folks. It's been an exciting, action-packed game so far. The San Diego Sockers up on the Empire Fury by a score of 2-0. You're looking at the first goal there. 5-hole by Christian Gutierrez. And then there's that second goal. The beautiful Wallace score from Leo to Drew Ruggles has us in the position that we're in. We're going to take a quick break. So should you. Back in a moment for the start of the second quarter. night here at Toyota Arena in Ontario, California. We're going to be talking about the captain all throughout today's game. This is his final regular season game as a member of this organization. If this Strykers team can find their way into the championship game, that could be the next time that we see Cisse here. But a long road ahead of Empire, as they still do need to clinch a playoff spot. Cisse, fun little stat for you. His only career hat trick was in a game that's still in the league record books. February 7, 2015, the Ontario Fury set an MASL record by scoring 26 goals against the Sacramento Surge. Cisse, a season high in goals is 12 back in 2014, 2015. And he equalized that in 2015, 2016. 12 seasons with the Fury / Strykers organization. Opportunity for Cisse. Nearly gets that one through Danny Waltman. Nice long ball into Tavoy Morgan. Tavoy pushing through defensively. And it looks like we're going to have a Smurf sighting. A blue card on the turf for Momo Guy, taking down Tavoy Morgan. Momo was not in a good position there. There you see wrapping his arm around the hip of Tavoy Morgan. Morgan goes down. And now a power play opportunity for San Diego. And coach, the Sockers have been deadly as far as that statistical category goes. This season so far, their power play nearly at 50%, 48 to be precise. But there is no power play in that perspective if we can see a goal here from Craig Childs.
Well, number 37 plays a big role in that success of the power play in these shootouts. I mean, Momo just got caught wrong-footed, and you know, you got to get on a shoulder early. Two-player defend it, right shoulder, left shoulder with the goalkeeper, and try to shorten that window, and he just went through the player, and Tavoy is just too good and recognized the touch.
$2.99 potentially on deck for Craig Childs, unless Brian Orozco denies him. Shot, and a goal! Craig Childs with his 299th career MASL goal puts the Sockers up with a commanding 3-0 lead.
He does what he does. He knows what he can do, and he does it very well. You know, just gets the job done, scores a goal. Thank you very much. How you doing, Phil? I'll come join you on the bench there.
21 goals this season alone. For a lot of professionals in this sport, in this league, that would be a unbelievable season. For him, just another walk in the park, as Craig Childs, no strangers to these numbers. In the game of indoor, and I've said this time and time again, a 3-goal lead is hardly any lead. You and I have seen games in which teams have come back from a 5, 6-goal deficit even. Counter opportunity.
Indeed, sir. You know, I mean, the Strykers just need to get back, continue to work. Again, it's a grind. It's a grind. Just continue to work, find your spots. You know, it's not as though they're not getting moments like this. It's not as though they're not getting shots off.
Speaking of shots, Munir Alami, you saw the quick touch. Once again, Danny Waltman in the way. Palmer is going to deny Leo a path as the ball comes into Orozco. Orozco trying to go into Munir Alami. Alami, a rookie this season in the MASL. The 3rd leading scorer for Empire this season.
It's interesting, you know, Farber was talking about it last night. The turf at Front Wave might give the Sockers not quite ready or accustomed to it. They seem a lot more comfortable tonight on the Toyota turf.
Well, the reality is the Sockers have played more games in this building than they have in Front Wave.
Indeed, sir.
So there is a familiarity with Toyota Arena. These two teams have played each other on so many occasions historically. Series 45-9 in favor of San Diego. Martinez into Perez. Perez back over to Martinez. Alex Bradley sees Gutierrez. Seeing some pressure from San Diego, trying to deny the Empire even crossing the midfield.
Yeah, they're extending it out.
Loose. Headed over and recovered by Martinez. Martinez's 19th game is today for the season. 6 goals and 6 assists with 12 points. Career highs
patient as they move the ball. Those are the passes they got to be worried about. Those are the passes that Gutierrez jumps.
But where they've been taken is the errant passes that have led to easy counters and easy goals. The first one, of course, by Gutierrez. We've seen that time and time again this season. Strikers are going to have to try to find some offense here as their season, their postseason, I should say, still not secured.
you're part of the action. Go to MASLI Football to sign up, get started, and play.
Remaining in the half.
Fabian with the 6 of
LaFar. Fabian, though, another save by Waltman. Alami back over to Palmer. They don't nickname him the Wall for no reason. Shot by Stinson. Does that go? The header just above the crossbar. That was so close in going through. And the official is going to call a timeout. They're going to do a review. Let's take a look at this replay. There we see Stinson. Looked like it came off Alami. There we see the overhead camera. Stinson fires it.
Ooh.
Does not completely cross the line.
Ooh.
And the official, I mean, undeniably not crossing through the line, unless my old eyes are getting the better. Oh, I don't know.
It extends up, so.
Let's see if we can catch it from another angle. I mean, that's not going to get any more brilliant than that. And shout out to our production staff for keeping the cameras in these positions.
Those Wimbledon sensors.
The Wimbledon sensors, indeed. All right, this is going to be, there we see the back of Danny Waltman's head.
Oh.
That's still so close.
I don't think so, because the line extends up. The line.
That does look pretty good, but it still looks like there's a portion of the ball on that white line. Yeah. We're hearing the crowd roar, not because the goal was called successful, but because they're just getting excited.
So
referees are going to have a quick conference.
Yeah.
No goal. No goal.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, it's not. The ball clearly bounces inside, but the line extends up. The ball must clearly completely cross the line, and there was nothing, not inconclusive.
Well, folks, you might be able to catch this one once again on MASL Monday, every Monday night on MASL TV and on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Bostjavansky and Phil Ivanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. That potentially could be a hot topic. We'll highlight this again when we do the under review read. Fabian into Alami. Alami out of Morocco, played in the Moroccan top flight. Also with the Moroccan youth national team. Third leading weapon for Onuo Bassi this season, to go along with Marco Fabian and Justin Stinson. These two players have found a lot of chemistry with one another over the past 2 seasons. And Justin Stinson having an incredible year in his own right. I know a lot of the talk with the Strykers is Fabian, but Stinson, one of the best talents that this league has. Palmer thought about firing the canyon, goes to Fabian, who does! And that comes off of Mansoret, but Waltman, those cat-like reflexes, just undeniable.
Undeniable.
And he tries to connect with Gutierrez, but launches that one into the crowd. And that's going to come back. 5 minutes and 18 remaining here in the second quarter. And about 2 seconds left on this power play. Craig Childs came out of the penalty box. He's going to head back in, being instructed by the official to go back and serve his 2-second suspension.
Always pushing the envelope, that guy.
I'd do the same thing if I were him. So 2 seconds within the penalty kill. Sockers have been extremely successful there. In a Stinson shot. Justin! Stinson!
Stinson stings the Sockers with the first goal of the game for the Fury. Artie, walk us through.
Just simple execution. Just look at the quality of the roll of this pass. That's the key thing right there. Allows Justin to come up, plant, and strike it just clean. Look at this. Smooth. Get tucked in.
From here on out, the pass from Leo into Quintana.
I think the key thing on that goal, Philly, again, was just the quality of Berto's pass. I mean, for all the young players out there, you know, the pass that you give your teammate, the quality of it indicates or dictates the quality of their next touch.
Morales muscling his way through Randy Martinez, but going right to Orozco. Yes, Robert Palmer just has found another level this season. And Quintana and Hansen collide as Hansen goes down to the ground. Those are two very big, strong, strapping young gentlemen. Looks like he took an elbow to the dome. And of course, that wasn't anything malicious. But when you have two big bodies colliding like that, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, I think Quintana went in pretty strong. I mean, those, like you said, two big bodies. They want to say who's the dominant one.
Real quick, I just want to acknowledge the mistake I made, and I do make several of them, as my lovely wife Amanda the Panda Filliman likes to say. I did mention that the sidekicks are going to play the ambush on Monday. Shout out to Matt Pruitt, who let me know that it's Tuesday. The game was moved, so apologies for the miscommunication. Ambush play the sidekicks at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard on Tuesday, not tomorrow. That's exciting for me because I'm calling that game. I get a day off. I thought I was going to have to call 4 straight this weekend.
Wow. Busy man.
Yes, a man of many broadcasts, many talents. But as are you, Coach, taking time from coaching. You were in San Diego earlier today doing what you excel at, which is having a clipboard in your hand, a whistle, and screaming and yelling.
You know, we all have the things that we like to master.
Taken away by Bradley, recovered by Mendez. Look at the poke away by Perez. And Mendez tried to shred that through into Orozco. Orozco's going to roll it into Alami. Mighty Munir pulls up, goes back over to Palmer. Palmer connects with Stinson. Stinson, the lone goal scorer for the Strikers today. I've said Strikers way too many times on Fury nights. Either way, 3-1 the score with 2:49 remaining in the second quarter. The pass from Orozco into Perez. Perez runs into a Quintana wall. And that's a boarding foul, no question about it. The blue card, Tarjeta Azul, is out in full effect. We're hearing the Dragnet jingle playing on the speakers.
Once again, big number.
Oh, not on Quintana, my mistake.
Pee-wee.
That's on Ortega.
Just unnecessary. You know, you see the big number, you got to have a little bit more discipline. I mean, he's just a veteran, thought he could sneak in, but unfortunately caught him.
Well, in front of the officials or ever so close to them, it's going to be hard to fool these officials, in particular Kyle Trimble, who's seen a lot in the MASL. They all have. Salinas, Gonzalez, all of them have. And shout out to our officiating staff. They have a hard job. I can't imagine what it's like officiating this incredible sport. So fast-paced. Fabian fires it. That comes off of Ruggles.
Critical moment here. He's got to have a quality power play here.
The penalty kill denied the Fury the last time around. Will it come through yet again? De Leon into Alami. Alami back over to Fabian with space to fire it. He put a lot of hustle behind that muscle, but it tussled its way into the net. Cornered goalkeeper restart for Waltman. Did I make you laugh?
You do indeed.
I try.
I was trying to be a poet, but I didn't know it, so I had to just put it away.
3-on-2 opportunity for the Strikers. Stinson fires it, saved by Waltman.
That was great two-player defending. So you see there, the two players got opposite shoulders of Justin and just created a shooting window for Waltman to account for, so he doesn't have to really account for the entire goal. It's just that window of angle through the two players. And they just gave it away until they could get recovery, and Justin took it early.
We'll talk about an embarrassment of riches heading into the postseason. If Boris Pardo comes back healthy, as he did sustain somewhat of an injury during the Kansas City Comets game, they have Pardo, one of the greatest to play. We have a quick whistle on the turf. Actually, I completely missed that one. Coach, what did you see there?
I was looking at Danny.
Some confusion on both sides.
I think it might have been a... Yeah.
There's a challenge flag that gets thrown onto the turf by Phil Salvaggio. Yeah, I have to...
wanted to go early when they got Roberto was asking for something. Maybe it was a 4-second on the restart.
So they're going to go to the monitor to see whether the challenge flag gets accepted. The thought I wanted to finish is Boris Pardo, one of the best keepers to do it. If he comes in, obviously he's going to do his thing. Xavier Snare-Williams has had a fine year, and then Danny Waltman. Let's take a look at what happened.
Oh, you can't play Berto again. Berto had a touch before.
Yeah, you couldn't play it back. And you could see the frustration in Palmer's face.
Yeah, Berto doesn't mask things well when he's in that regard.
There we see the replay again. The pass in from Leopoldo Polo Hernandez, former UC Riverside Highlander. Trying to get a level of clarity here. We see Brian Orozco stepping off, and then Palmer coming in wearing the 6th attacker jersey. Polo goes over to him, and you could see the frustration immediately.
Played the ball in the wrong half. You know, there were questions earlier about why Brian steps higher up on the pitch.
So too many men is what the call is.
For that was Phil's challenge, correct?
That was the soccer's challenge,
yeah,
correct.
But the infraction was the wrong half.
See both referees pulling up the blue card.
Blue light special.
The drama llama is out in full effect today. 3-1 with 1:33 remaining here in this second quarter. Strikers desperately need a win to secure any positioning within the postseason.
But that scenario right there explains why Brian and the other goalkeepers for Fury sit higher in their possession, because just 2 feet off and all of a sudden it's a counter restart.
So Ortega is going to head into the box, or stay in the box rather.
So 4-on-4.
So we have an interesting opportunity for both sides here with 1:33, 93 seconds remaining here in the half. Somebody from the Empire needs to go into the box, and that's going to be Leopoldo Polo Hernandez. Polo, a rookie this season out of Sacramento, California. Played collegiately at Taft before transferring on over to the Big West for UC Riverside. Played with the LA Force in Nisa and the Chattanooga Wolves for you USL fans out there. USL interesting, adopting the pro-rel rules, but we're talking about MASL, not USL here.
It'll be an interesting concept how that plays out.
Morales into Leo. Leo back over to Morales. Has Mustafa Guy all over him. Momo trying to poke it away, but Leo getting through. Shot. What a goal. What a play. Not Leo, Luis Morales. My apologies. Morales muscles his way right through. What a sensational goal.
That's a great term for that. This player has just tremendous feet. You saw it last night, the little deft touch on the goal. Now here, look at, just calm on the ball. Well, you missed the dynamic part. But the whole time he is just keeping the ball, you know, the youngsters would say between the big toes, the steering wheel of soccer. And he just does it. Calm, allowed the defender to bite. Got a little lucky on the nick, and the ball stayed. But then the soul roll kept the ball at his feet.
Morales, just what a talent. Just how he avoided and got through and then fires that shot. Luis Morales, 17th goal of the season, 22 points in his first year playing for San Diego.
He puts that top-heavy sole pressure on the ball when he gets in the joust, so he has leverage and he has the ability to kind of manipulate the ball in that first touch. It's just...
He was the focal point of the offense for the Outlaws last season, and the question was whether or not he was going to flow really well with the talent levels of Charlie Gonzalez, Tavoy Morgan, Craig Childs, players that have been around one another for quite some time, but Luis Morales has easily silenced those thoughts. Is 17 goals, 5 assists, 22 points on the year. An incredible year he's having in San Diego, and a big reason as to why the Sockers are where they are on the table.
Well, it's just the philosophy that the players that come in have to buy into, and that's from the leadership handing it down.
The pass from Ortega into Charlie Gonzalez, a one-time member of this franchise. 2021 was the last time he played for the Fury, and since going to San Diego has picked up a couple of championship rings. Less than 10 seconds remaining here in the half. Fabian have to operate really quickly if the Strikers are going to look for another shot and foul as Fabian goes down.
You know, there was a question too, Philly, why Pee Wee stayed in the box for a few more seconds after they scored, and why the Strikers didn't get another player, because it was 4-on-4, so it was level, so it stayed 4-on-4 until the penalty actually expired.
Well, we have you up here, Coach. 4 seconds remaining here in the half. Palmer to Fabian, who's going to fire it off target. Ruggles has it, goes over to Leo, and that's the buzzer. That'll end the second quarter, ending the first half. And the San Diego Sockers, off of that last goal by Luis Morales, find themselves with a fairly comfortable lead heading into the locker room, 4-1. Let's take a look at how the goals came through. There we see the defensive efforts. First goal scored by Christian Gutierrez. And there the second, the walla from Leo to Drew Ruggles as he finds himself as a fish in a net. And then Childs with an attempt near a third goal, but Brian Orozco not to be denied. But Craig Childs not to be denied a second time as he scores the third. The Strikers did have an opportunity on the reset as Justin Stinson fires in his 27th of the season. And then look at Morales getting right by Mustafa Guy, fires it in the upper shelf. And that's the goals that we've seen so far. And folks, we're just waiting, standing by, waiting for pitch side with Panda as she's going to get Fury head coach Onua Obasi's thoughts. But what an impressive display of offense and defense by the Sockers here in the first half.
Again, we talked about it earlier, just staying within system. You know, they're organized, they're not tracking players, continuing to work, and then 2 outstanding individual goals.
All right, we're going to kick it down to Panda. She's standing by with Onua Obasi. Take it away, Panda.
Hey guys, I'm here with Coach Onua Obasi. Some mental mistakes coupled with a pretty solid performance by San Diego's keeper. You guys have outshot them pretty much, I think it was like 22-9 the last time I checked. What do you guys need to do in the second half to get back into this game?
Yeah, you know, Danny Waltman obviously is a legend of indoor soccer, and he's showing why, because, you know, he didn't play the last 2 seasons, but he's made every save and then a plus a few extra ones. So, yeah, that's probably kept the score 3-goal difference, but they've deserved to score because we've made some mistakes, as you mentioned. I think we need to be better with the ball. Like, we make a lot of passes, that's how we play, but we can't misplace short passes, 5-yard, 6-yard passes. You know, careless. Guys did play yesterday, so there's mental mistakes, but you know, I just got to ask the guys to be a little better in those moments.
I was going to ask, with playing this same matchup basically 24 hours or less than 24 hours ago, how much does that play into a game like this?
Yeah, you can see even with them sitting back, you know, so deliberately sitting back. You know, they're trying to conserve their energy, and it's on us to really take the game to them because they've beat us 4 out of 4, and you know, they're halfway to making it 5 out of 5. So we have to obviously change that, bring a lot of energy, but we have some fresh legs today that maybe they don't have, but we have to make it count.
All right, well, you've got a lot of fans in the stands tonight. It's Izzy Cisse's night too, so a lot to play for still. See what you do in the second half, Coach.
Thank you very much, cheers.
Thank you.
22 shots by the Empire, 10 shots by San Diego. San Diego's been a lot better at converting their opportunities. Folks, we're going to head into timeout for a halftime timeout, I should say. And we'll be back in about 15 or so minutes with the start of the third quarter. San Diego Soccer is currently leading the Empire Fury by a score of 4.
Clear 6 call, runway 26 right, clear on.
The wait is over. The 2025 MASL season is here. Bigger and better than ever. Get ready for high-speed action, jaw-dropping goals, and fierce competition as your favorite teams battle it out on the field. With intense rivalries, unforgettable moments, and new stars rising, the MASL delivers excitement every week. Get your tickets now and be part of the excitement. Because this season, the action is non-stop.
Are you looking for inspiration? The FYI podcast delivers stories of inspiring individuals like the Strykers, Marco Fabian, Momo, and their remarkable personal journeys.
Because you're going to see people from all parts of life. They're us, everyday people facing everyday obstacles, and how they overcome them is a blueprint for all of us to learn from.
If you want to be inspired, subscribe to the FYI podcast.
Hey guys, I'm Amanda the Panda, joining you all from the Cathedral for the Empire Strykers, and I am joined by a man who needs no introduction himself, but he's going to get it today because, well, he deserves that. Hailing all the way from Sierra Leone and making his way to the prestigious IMG Academy, sharing a locker room with David Beckham when he played with the LA Galaxy, and then spending 11 seasons in the MASL with the Ontario Fury and Empire Strykers. I am joined by the legend himself, my captain, Izzy Cisse. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's a good day. It's going to be a good day. I'm doing good.
I'm so happy to hear that because, well, unless you're living under a rock, then everyone knows that you made an announcement to everybody that this would be your final season with the MASL and your professional soccer career in general. And after listing all those accolades that I just did, I want to know just how do you feel overall about the career you've had, and why was this the right time for you to hang up the boots?
I feel good. I feel good. I think I think I've done it all. Obviously, I started playing with the Galaxy, and now I'm here with the Empire Striker, Ontario Fury. It's been an amazing run. It's been an amazing career. I'm happy. I think mentally I'm ready to let it go now. I'm just trying to take the next step of my life now, but it's been an amazing career, and I'm really happy.
Oh, you may be ready, but I don't know that we are. We love seeing you out there. You are such a staple for this organization and the community. And speaking of community, I think that's one of the things about you that is just so important to you, is being able to reach out to the community and be such a role model to the youth that's out there. Can you talk just a little bit about why that's so important to you?
It's very important. For me, this game has given me everything. So for me, it's just about giving it back to the kids. I mean, that's all I can do now at this point, because everything I have, everything I own, I get it from this game. So for me, it's just about giving it back. That's why I'm very involved with them, teaching them the beautiful game. it's just about giving it back. That's all you can do.
You certainly do that, and you do such a good job. Anybody would be privileged to be able to have you as a coach and a mentor. Now, you talked about, the next step. Do you know what is next for Izzy Cisse?
I mean, coaching the kids. That will be it. And, the sky's the limit. You never know. But definitely coaching the kids, spending time with my family, traveling. But yeah, everything is open at this point.
I mean, it might as well be. And, with the career you've had, you certainly will be able, like you said, sky's the limit, and you can do anything you put your mind to. Now, let's kind of talk a little bit about, real quick, this season. You've been with this franchise from the beginning. You've seen the highest of highs. You've seen the lowest of lows. Talk to me a little bit about how the team feels right now. They are in a position to possibly make the playoffs, something that hasn't happened with the Strikers. How is this team feeling? What are you seeing? And what are the overall vibes right now?
The boys are excited. They're very, very motivated. We can't wait to step on the field today. We know we just need a point. But the vibe in the locker room is, a bunch of guys who are motivated, excited to come out here and play. So we know we have a good chance of making it, and we just know that we need a game or probably a point. So we're going to try to get it today.
I can think of nobody better to lead this team and to motivate them into tonight's matchup. Izzy, congratulations on a phenomenal career. Anybody would be happy to be able to have any one of the accolades that you have. So congrats on that.
Thank you.
We're certainly going to miss you, but you've still got some left in you tonight, right?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's go.
I'm gonna try.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Across the nation, MASL players are giving back, utilizing their professional power to touch and inspire people in their local communities nationwide. Free soccer clinics, where kids can meet their heroes and learn new skills. After-school programs and special events. And surprise visits to the classroom. Visiting brave kids in the hospital, bringing joy and hope. Supporting special needs care, partnering with local businesses, and so much more. MASL, passion on the field, purpose off the field, committed to community.
What's up, guys? My name is Ricky Ortiz. I'm a 25-year-old YouTuber with muscular dystrophy. I make videos about my life, me trying new things and getting out of my comfort zone. Today, I had the chance to join the Empire Strikers, thanks to the MASL and National Course Finding Your Inspiration podcast. From stepping onto the field to signing a one-day contract and receiving my jersey. This experience means the world to me. Today is definitely a day I'll never forget.
Shoot! It's goal!
What's going on, everybody? This is the MASL in 5. It's your chance to get caught up on everything that went down in the MASL over the past week in just 5 minutes. Let's go.
Chip it down, shot, goal. Great job. It's another assist for Nascimento. And Arroyo scores to make it 3-2.
The race for the 8th and final playoff spot is heating up. It was a must-win for St. Louis last weekend against Baltimore, and the ambush got the job done. They handed the Blast their first defeat at home all season long, winning the contest 7-6, and it was just a reflection of their strong play recently. St. Louis has won 4 of its last 5 games. They've got to keep that hot play going if they want to overtake Tacoma for the 8th spot and keep on dancing. You know who else had a big smile on their face last weekend? The Outlaws. Once again, they managed to knock off their rivals in the Dallas Derby, beating the Sidekick 6-5 and killing their hopes of making the playoffs once and for all. Texas started slowly this season, but have finished well and are loving playing the role of spoiler. This was the marquee matchup of the weekend. First place Chihuahua against second place San Diego, but it proved to be no contest at all as the Savage pummeled them 12-2. To be fair, San Diego was missing several key players, but Corner Sport Arena continues to be a riddle the opposition just cannot solve. Kansas City managed to get back on track last weekend against the Milwaukee Wave. The Comets were on a 3-game losing streak, but they put an end to that, taking down the Wave 9-6 at Cable Dahmer Arena. The Comets solidly in third place now, but Milwaukee just hasn't been playing its best recently. They are sliding at the wrong time. With the playoffs approaching, they've lost 5 of their last 7 games, falling to 7th in the standings. Let's take a look at the league table then. Chihuahua in first, followed closely behind by San Diego. KC in third spot. We really want to focus, though, on that 8th and 9th battle there. Tacoma, St. Louis, the Ambush 2 points behind the Stars, but they do have a game in hand. They control their own destiny. So let's take a look at a couple of massive matchups this weekend with playoff ramifications. St. Louis in Texas on Saturday. The Ambush cannot afford San Diego to round out their schedule. Your green drop players of the week: Diego Reynoso in goal for Chihuahua, then 2 Tacoma Stars. Defensively, Tyler John, and on offense, Yahir Romero. Let's start things off with Romero. Fantastic week for the Stars, who, as mentioned, cannot afford to stumble. They did not, behind his 6 points, 3 goals, and 3 assists to lead Tacoma. And his mate defensively gets the nod, Tyler John. He had 1 block, but also came through with 5 points for the Stars. And in goal, it was Reynoso getting the nod. He had 14 saves while allowing just 2 goals against San Diego. Okay, it is time now for your plays of the week.
Guerrero Pino is the one, and there's a header! Oh my gosh, it's Mijatovic! Mijatovic from his defender position heads it.
On the turf, Nestor with the nutmeg shot. What a gorgeous goal. Superman is back in the building. Pulls the nutmeg, goes upper left corner.
Finalmente le dan el córner al equipo salvaje.
Aquí la pelota para Roberto. To get it up to Andorreos. Andorreos looking far post, gets it over to Ray Holloman, poked it in the middle, ball is loose!
What a save,
and
Willie B!
Save, Willie B!
Going to move into that 8th playoff spot, but the Stars, Romero
Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Twitter, MASL Arena on Twitter. MASL TV, subscribe today to MASL TV on YouTube. You'll find game rebroadcasts, MASL shows, highlights, and more.
San Antonio Regional Hospital is a proud sponsor of the Empire Strikers, keeping our community strong, healthy, and active for over 115 years. San Antonio Regional Hospital, here for life.
Folks, you saw the halftime performance of Samantha and Chaco as they were singing Proud to Be an American with Israel Cisse on stage with them. And Cisse found refuge here in the United States as an 11-year-old seeking political asylum from a war-torn Sierra Leone country. And since he's been here, he's obviously excelled in so many ways. Originally settling in Maryland, found his way over to high school, IMG Academy down in Montverde, Florida, and playing professional indoor. And well, he gets to coach. It's a big part of the community here in the Inland Empire. And Israel Cisse, in his own words, he'll tell you, as quoted in an interview that he did with Gunnar Burnt, says, "I'm not supposed to be here today." He witnessed a lot of members of his family die in Sierra Leone, and we're very fortunate and really happy that Israel Cisse is here with us, and we get to celebrate his legacy here in the Major Arena Soccer League.
Yeah, it was nice to see Kai Kamara say some kind words at halftime. You know, I coached against Kai while he was at Cal State Dominguez Hills, and just you know, another positive influence that Cisse's had here in the Inland Empire.
Of course, now by Kai Kamara, we saw him on our screens. I know you folks at home didn't get a chance to see him, but both players from Sierra Leone, both carving out incredible careers. Pass into Childs. Childs' shot off the mark. 22 shots by the Strikers to the Soccer's 10, but the story for me on the San Diego side, the return of Danny Waltman. What a half he had.
Unbelievable. Well, believable, because he's been doing it for years and years. Rolled over, maybe. You know, he's been nursing an injury this season, so hopefully it's okay.
And there we see the replay.
Yeah, that ankle roll right there. Those are tough. And then on the top of the back of the noggin, got a triple threat right there.
And he's one of the best trainers in the game, folks, Paul Savage. But the last thing you want to do is see Paul Savage on the turf. Been a long-time trainer, and he's working on Ortega. Ortega, a big part of the San Diego Soccer's family, and hate to see him go down like that. Obviously incidental contact, and we saw immediately that Strikers goalkeeper Brian Orozco went down to check on him and apologize. Hate to see scenarios like that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, these two teams know each other really, really well, but just an unfortunate set of circumstances.
Yeah, nothing malicious there from Brian Orozco, but just unfortunate the way he rolled up and the way the ankle rolled. Those are tough.
Ortega's been a part of this franchise for quite some time. Played in 21 games last season, had one of his healthiest years. Back in the 21-22 season, he suffered an Achilles injury. But it looks like he's back up, and he acknowledged Brian Orozco, and Orozco did show his apologies there. So nice display of sportsmanship on both sides.
Both class acts.
Class acts indeed.
Huey's I think Huey's the silent instrumental piece for this team moving forward. I mean, he's just a stabilizing force, so hopefully he's going to be all right.
Restart's going to come for the Sockers as Leo de Oliveira, one-time pass master in this league, set to put the ball back in play.
Well, that back heel would indicate he's still a pretty good pass master.
I mean, that was his 17th assist of the season. Yeah, pretty good is an understatement for a man of his talents. Quintana heads that into Tavoy Morgan. Morgan, a sniper of a goal scorer here in the MASL.
He's been a little quiet tonight. Let's see if he gets unloaded, uncorked.
Ball gets taken away from Cisse. Both teams fighting for it. Recovered is Hansen. Hansen finds it through, and look at Danny Waltman getting outside of the box, getting it in the way of the ball that would have found its way into Alan Perez's feet.
I think these guys are hearing us up here. You see that, Leo, with that little back heel flick again after you said pass master?
We're
earbuds down there from Philly?
we're pretty loud. That goes without saying. I mean, that 2021 season when there was nobody here, you could hear us on the turf, but with the crowd that we're seeing in the building tonight, there's no way that anybody can hear us. I could barely hear you, and you're right next to me.
What a great clearance, though, from Danny Waltman. You saw him when he came out. He took an angle. He took an angle that would play off the boards to a line that was going to break the defense. That's just experience and a good soccer brain.
A good soccer brain. High IQ for sure. Polo Hernandez applying pressure, taken away by Alami. Alami hangs on to it. Denying it is Christian Quintana. Quintana, such a big acquisition for San Diego out of Garland, Texas. I mean, he started the season with the Dallas Sidekicks, playing in 15 games, and this is his 7th appearance for San Diego.
He's quite nimble.
Nimble
in the white jersey. Quintana.
Quintana, several seasons in the Major Arena Soccer League. Ciro over to Orozco. Orozco to Alami. His touch goes over to Stinson. Stinson, the only goal of the game for the Empire Fury today. If the Fury are going to look to break through and chop at this Soccer's lead, you know the goals are going to come either via Stinson, Fabian, or Alami. At least that's where you'd put your money.
That's where the expectation, for sure. For sure.
Stinson with 27 on the season, Fabian with 24, and Alami with 15. But Alan Perez is there, and there is a deflection shot from Bradley. Quintana gets in the way of it again, and you can see him with the fist bump. He's fired up.
He's looking quicker, isn't he?
Quicker than what?
You were talking about him in a green jersey before.
A pass from Stinson to Fabian. Fabian puts Gutierrez on skates. The pass over to the Stinger. Stinson, a player who's very tough to dispossess. Into De Leon. De Leon fires it, coming off of the head of Drew Ruggles. Any normal human being, that probably would have concussed him. But Drew Ruggles gets in the way. And the Fury tried a quick restart. There you see some arguing with the official. I think that's Mendez. Not a battle that you're going to win. Never makes sense to argue with the official.
San Diego's never had a shortage for talking to an official, though.
Palmer, all in the restart. Fabian thought about the one-timer. Into Alami off the wall. Alami shot saved by Waltman. Ball is loose, broken up. One-on-one with Mendez and Orozco. Fabian tracks back, but Mendez! Seba Mendez with the confident goal puts the Sockers up by a score of 5-1.
That's just a clinical finish. You just saw him downshift as Marco's doing his job to work back. Downshifts here, eyes up. Plant, hit. good, just a great one for young players. Again, as he's moving forward, downshifts the box to the defender, has a look for the target, finds a contact point on the ball, strike, goal. Very clinical.
The Sockers M&M boys are coming up big tonight. Morales scored in the first half. Seba Mendez with his 13th of the season, now at 19 points. Big hill to climb for the Fury. Orozco tried to fire it in. He's going to go down, taken down. And now we see a blue card on the turf. Oh, things getting a little interesting here.
Yeah, I think
Taylor Walter Bond with the foul.
I'm guessing there's some thoughts on the Strikers bench if that's a little payback for Pee Wee. You know, Bond is a physical player, isn't afraid to mix it up. So I'm pretty sure that's what the Strikers are thinking. And then the Sockers doing the thing just to kind of escort him over and trying to de-escalate this to make it worse, or not to make it worse. Very good English on my part, huh?
Let's see the replay there again. Bond comes in. Orozco is back up.
Yeah, I was going to say there was some intent there. There was some intent there for sure.
So Bond's coming. Taylor
Red
Walter
card.
Bond's
They gave him
coming.
a red card.
Oh, they did?
Yeah,
okay.
they gave him a red card.
We don't see those very often.
Yeah. They went back, looked at it. There was clear intent after the fact. Probably a very good thing, actually, at the end of the day, because now the emotion of this moment is going to dissipate because Bond's off the field. Because I'm sure, you know, they would be chirping back and forth the rest of the game had he stayed on.
That could easily go one of two ways. The Empire can look to fold after that aggressive attempt, or they can use this momentum right now without a key member of San Diego's team in Taylor Walter Bond. A goal and an assist on the season, playing in his 13th game, but this could be the opportunity, perhaps the catalyst that the Fury need to claw their way into this game, because time isn't on their side, and San Diego can easily sit back and absorb what the Strikers are going to throw at them. Find that open net, because they haven't had the lion's share of shots in today's game. It's been the Fury. And yes, I am using both names because, well, that's the case.
That's the case.
But either way, there's going to be a power play. I can't see who's in the box. Is that Leo? You'll have to forgive us, folks.
I can't see that far.
Our perch is quite high here. And so,
you know, you're saying, Philly, about whether the response here, you know, the thing about a game like this is, you know, everyone talks about, you know, that fire, that drive, that, you know, we know far too well what, you know, air and wind does to fire. And so this moment here could be that air to spark this fire.
And yes, that is Leo de Oliveira.
Yeah.
So he's going to serve 2 minutes.
So now we just got to respond. They got to take. Here's the thing. This is a great growing moment for the Strikers. We saw them last night. The game got a little chippy, and they kind of maybe lost a little bit of their emotional control. Now they've got to step up. They've got a power play, execute, put a goal away. It's going to change the mentality here, and it's going to get this crowd into it. But it's a great moment for the Strikers to grow right here, above and beyond just scoring a goal. It's just the mentality coming back from this moment, and the back and forth with what just happened from Pee Wee and Brian to now Brian and Taylor.
And the crowd really wanting to erupt. A great crowd here at Toyota Arena. In fact, I can't recall the last time I saw such a big crowd. So Randy Martinez. Oh, you do?
Finals.
Oh, which one?
The dubious call at the end when San Diego won it.
2021, we had a crowd like this. Wow, all right. If my memory ceases to exist, then okay. Either way, it's great to have the fans out here. The greatest show on turf, the Major Arena Soccer League, the highest level of indoor soccer here.
Well, remember when they did have the finals, the last game was pushed back because they were allowing fans into the stadium. So
that's true. I did have the opportunity to call that game with my good friend Craig Elston, who's the play-by-play broadcaster for the San Diego Sockers. Looking forward to reuniting with him potentially in San Diego for the playoffs. We'll see if that occurs. If there's ever an opportunity for the Fury to find a way, it would be now. The chip, Alami, look at Danny Waltman getting in the way again. Wonder what he's been doing in the offseason to prepare himself. Not even sure if he would have even realized that he was coming back into the game.
I think it's going to be a new training tool. Goalkeepers are going to take up the guitar.
Shot by Stinson. That's going to go into the net, deflects off of Ben Raymond.
There's been a couple of Danny shows on the online or social media.
It's always been something I've been wanting to do. He was in a band. I spent many years in a rock and roll band. It'd be great to get Philly and Danny out in the band, the MASL Traveling Caravan.
Well, I used to promote rock shows back in the day, small shows.
Shot by Fabian, saved by Waltman. If I only had a nickel for the amount of times I've said that, well, I'd probably have $1, which still isn't a lot. Inflation. De Leon.
Just look how San Diego extends in their shape. It's just very difficult to break down.
Ortega, Gutierrez, Raymond, and Cardenas. 50 seconds remaining in this power play. Strikers have De Leon, Fabian, Palmer, Orozco, Stinson, and Alami. Can they find the penetration through the Soccer's wall? Stinson into Fabian. Fabian fires it off the post. Ding dong, ring-a-ling-a-lings it. Back into the midfield to Orozco. 23 seconds remaining in the power play. Penalty kill looking very solid for San Diego. Alami with Cardenas in front of him goes over to Fabian. Fabian sees a wide open Stinson. Stinson with Raymond on him, trying to find space. And between Ortega and Stinson, Ortega and Raymond, they deny Stinson. And the foul's going to go against Justin.
Into the boards. There it is.
Looked like the official was going into his pocket, and was
little Penn and Teller, the card disappeared.
Are they still playing at the Rio in Vegas, by the way?
I like that place, actually.
What, Vegas or the Rio?
All of the above.
Same.
Check.
Same. Speaking of Vegas, Israel Cisse was a one-time member of the Las Vegas Legends.
Our boy Keeks, former coach there, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Great Chewbacca impression. I coached that. He's a young man. He's a man now. But I coached him with the senior amateurs in the national championships, and he comes on the plane, and all the kids loved him, spitting out Chewbacca sounds.
You're not going to do that now, are you?
I can't.
Sorry, I had to.
I can't do it.
Charlie Gonzalez, what a game he had last night against the Strikers at Front Wave. And what a career he's had.
Indeed.
So the penalty has been killed, but the Strikers now in the box. Oh, that one gets through and scores! San Diego once again breaks through. It's a power play goal.
It's just pure execution. Craig does what he does. Watch him rotate central. He's high there, plays that simple one, and then Morales just crashing, doing his job. They're just very clinical, and this is could be a tough sign for teams as San Diego starts to get on a roll, coinciding with Morales' return.
I mean, they're operating at 50% in their power play. This is a team that in every 1-for-2 gets a goal, and not to be denied there. We were barely 20 seconds into the power play, and they managed it. Martinez with a shot just to the left of the bar. Taken away by Ciro. Ciro puts on the brakes off the wall with Alex Bradley. Strikers down by 5. Score 6-1. Morales, a couple of goals into today's game. I think he had the assist to Gutierrez, if I remember correctly. Have to go back to the stat. Pass into Orozco. Orozco finds Martinez.
See how Charlie didn't chase? Like they're sitting there. Built their house.
A team that's well coached, poised, comfortable, more importantly, confident.
You just see they understand the lines and the angles and in relation to the goal. A lot of young players get caught up in just individual stuff. These guys are definitely within a team component.
Keiko Gontan was applying some pressure on Harold Hansen. Strikers trying to find a spark. Any kind of spark. Shot by Orozco into the hands of Danny Waltman. He's got more touches than several of the players on the turf today. Chips it into Gontan. Gontan into Quintana. Quintana trying to find Morgan. Martinez gets in the way. Picked up by Bradley. Bradley all the way into Perez. Off of Tavoy. Bradley goes back into Orozco.
Sear remind you of, speaking of Fury, does Sear remind you of Goncalves at all? Remember him?
Oh, I remember Thiago Gonçalves. I remember when I think he scored a goal and jumped into the stands and proposed.
Indeed.
Wasn't he given a red card for that?
I just got pressure from my wife to do something romantic.
I don't think she would appreciate you jumping in the stands during a game. Maybe she would. I don't know. Cindy's all about that kind of life. She's stuck with you for decades.
You know, some people just don't learn.
Pass into Fabian. Fabian off the back of Ortega. And it's good to see Pee Wee back in the game. Over into Stinson. Stinson. Leo in front of him. Pass from Palmer. Stinson tries to thread it through. Stinson with a shot. Justin! Stinson with a gorgeous goal. Don't want to say it's upper shelf, but que golazo stinger. 6-2.
Shooter, shoot. Shooter, shoot. Ball bounces out. He just pounced on it. Just pounced on it and put it home.
Let's take a look at that replay again real quick.
He's working hard.
Off of Leo. He fires it. Folks, we're going to head to a timeout, media timeout. 6-2 the score. Justin Stinson with the second goal. Back in a moment.
Indoor soccer fans, it's time to unleash a giant leap for fandom. Introducing MASL Indoor Soccer Fantasy Football. Build your dream team, invite your friends, and create your own draft league, all for free. Draft and trade players and win bragging rights as your team dominates the league. With MASL iFootball, you're not just a fan, you're part of the action. Go to MASL iFootball to sign up, get started, and play.
Capelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. The all-new MASL fan store will be launching soon. MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. Artie, Justin Stinson just registered his second goal of the game, his 28th of the season. The Fury are down by 4 with 6:41 remaining. What needs to happen for this team to chop their way back into the game?
Give Justin sitters like that again. The kid's on fire. I mean, his dad's in town, so great moment for Papa Stinson. But yeah, they just got to keep moving the ball, breaking it down.
Pass from Cisse into Perez. Perez finds Mansoure. Mansoure off of Leo, recovered by Perez. Yeah, I got a chance to talk to Mr. Stinson as well. Bumped into him in the concourse as I was admiring the crowd. Oh, bicycle attempt by Mansoure. Just whips on it as the ball bounces in to Waltman. What a highlight that would have been.
Yeah, that went from bicycle to tricycle really quick.
But if he rode the tricycle, he still would have rode it then.
Well, tricycle meaning it was an attempt.
Fabian fires off the recovery lab banner. Picked up by Charlie Gonzalez.
There's that soul roll I was telling you about, Philly.
But Morales just finds his way through defenders like a hot knife going through a stick of butter. It's just so impressive. Alami into press. Nice touch. Finds Fabian. But it appears that we have a whistle on the turf as Alami heads into the board.
Well, that's a rough call for the Strikers. You got Marco on ISO with Charlie rotating over.
Yeah, they didn't play the advantage on that as Fabian was open.
Yes, he was.
Quick restart in as Randy Martinez just behind the miter ball. Opts to go back to Bradley. Bradley. Is that De Leon wearing the 6th attacker jersey? Yes, it is. Off De Leon, tough touch.
It's good to see Pee Wee running.
I couldn't agree more. Picked up by Martinez. Martinez off the wall, tried to walla it into Alami, but that man, yet again, Danny Waltman. Picked up by Alami, turnover, skates, pass to Fabian, goal! Marco Fabian!
Here comes the crowd, here comes the crowd. Again, just a simple little set from Alami. You know, veteran move from a rookie. Just getting the ball simple and easy.
Might have blew out my larynx there, but look at the move. Putting Charlie Gonzalez on skates. Finds Marco. Registers his 25th of the season. Strykers/Fury, I am sorry. Cutting to the lead. It is now 6-3.
Alami with his own little soul roll, causing that bite. This is what we needed. This is what the Strykers Fury needed. Stimulate the fury of the crowd. Get him going.
Alami now with his 10th assist of the season to go along with the 15 goals that he scored throughout his 21 games played. And now there is an energy in this building, an energy that we've been waiting for.
Yeah,
this crowd dying to get into the ball game, but they have been silenced by the Sockers quarter after quarter. Now the Strykers are starting to find their way into this game, knowing darn well that their playoff hopes are really contingent upon this. Onuo Obasi said it during his halftime interview with Panda. They have not beaten this team. He has not beaten this team. The Strykers haven't beaten this team in quite some time. It would be quite the statement if they can find their way back in this game.
Is it possible that Taylor, here's the cut, little soul roll, dink, just quality.
There you see the crowd up. I'd love to get the confirmation on the numbers. Look at Alami. Fabian open, despite the outstretched arms of Danny Waltman.
A little flyby from
6-3 with 4:55 remaining in the third quarter. You were going to say it. I don't want to take it away from you about Taylor Walter-Bond. Please finish your thought.
I think that's at this moment in time, that's the moment we talked about, was if it was going to change psychologically. That could have been, right now it's looking like Coach Obasi said, hey, dial in, don't get caught up in the chippiness, let's play, let's break them down, believe in what we do. 2 simple goals, quality, but simple.
Morgan pushing Perez off of it. He stays steady, goes into, thought he had Cardenas for a second, now he does. Recovered by Mo Guy, the captain, Israel Cisse. Will this be his final appearance wearing the Fury/Strykers logo?
Can't fix your boots while they're still on the floor.
He does draw the foul. Him, along with Leo de Oliveira, one-time teammates, as Leo did spend some time as a member of the Fury. Polo Hernandez into Stinson, Stinson over into Palmer. MASL on Sundays, baby. No place I'd rather be.
Wait, Justin wants the ball. Feed the beast.
Looking for a hat trick. Stinson having one of his best seasons ever in this league.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. But it comes off his defending, Philly. You know, he's just active, he's more engaged. It's just, his game is flowing because his body is flowing, right? The oxygen's.
The pass, oh, we've seen Harold Hansen score a beautiful bike last season on St. Paddy's Day. The very first CBS Sports Golazo Network broadcast we had, I thought he was going to replicate that.
I was getting ready to stand up and jump
because you were thinking, harnessing your inner Van Halen?
Yeah. I think of teachers when I think of Van Halen.
I think of Panama. Unfortunately, a lot of fans of the United States men's national team are thinking a lot about Panama these days, too. Recovered by Hansen. Hansen got past Leo, but that touch led to Ruggles. Pass from Leo into Drew. Drew with a goal into today's game already. Tries to walleye it into himself. Still with it, broken up. Recovered. Stinson Look at how he threaded that through. Into Cisse. Cisse getting tripped up, though. No whistle on the turf. Would have been Cisse with a one-on-one. Hansen's going to show his displeasure with Leo as they push each other. I'm not sure the officials saw that. Hansen needs to be careful. He's getting a little handsy with the Sockers.
Getting a lot more errant passes now from the Sockers.
And Charlie Gonzalez takes him down. The official's going to blow the whistle.
Cabeza.
Hansen back up. Let's take a look. As Orozco chipped that in. Charlie's going to make a collision with Hansen.
That was a foul on Cantona earlier.
Hansen in his second season in the MASL, out of Ontario, California, although he was born in Sassuolo, Italy, played with the Portland Timbers too, and was a part of the U.S. National U15, 16, and 18. And just, I'll never forget that incredible bicycle kick he had against San Diego, beating Boris Pardo on that shot. I think I still have it on my Twitter feed as the thing that I have pinned because it was one of the most incredible goals I've seen in the indoor game.
It was brilliant. It was a 2-foot takeoff too, wasn't it? I'm
yeah,
pretty sure.
He had an attempt to himself. He hit it off the wall. It was a thing of beauty.
Very athletic.
But we're living in the past. There's a reason why the rear view and the windshield are two different sizes. We're looking forward. And looking forward right now is Christian Quintana just waiting for the official to blow the whistle so the Sockers can put the ball in play. Opts to go into Charlie. Charlie goes in to Craig Childs. Childs already inserted his name into today's game, and that's going to come into the netting.
MGR Real Estate is Southern California's largest independent family-owned real estate company, providing commercial sales and leasing, residential sales, and management. MGR Real Estate is a proud sponsor of the Empire Strikers.
Gutierrez battling with Perez. Over to Waltman. Waltman well outside of his box.
Good ball.
The touch off of Childs' head is going to go into the crowd. That'd be a fun concept for fans if they get to keep the balls that go into the stands. Quick play
Pretty
in
expensive
Olami.
for the league. Oh, that's in.
Ciro with a shot. Ciro! Oliveira cuts into this lead. It is now 6-4. Take a bow. Ciro!
Another quality goal. Unselfish play. These kids are moving the ball well now. Finding the open guy. Creating, albeit appearing to be simple goals, but just quality finishes.
Only his third goal in his 14th appearance, but look at the Don distributing dish from Olami. Rookie to rookie, making their way into this game. The pass, the touch, the goal, beats Danny Waltman. It is 6-4 now. Less than 2 remaining in the third quarter. Ball game, we finally have one.
It's going. You got Cisse whipping up the crowd as well. 2-goal game here, Philly. That's when it gets really super interesting.
Ciro, a rookie in the MASL, out of Brazil. Played for the Roadrunners at Cal State Bakersfield before he headed on over to Cal Poly Pomona. And prior to his time playing for the Fury/Strikers, he was in Nisa playing for the LA Force. And that's going to come off of, looks like it comes off of Leo. The Fury still have the ball, minute 36 remaining. Oh, what a turn of events it would be if they can find one more before heading into the fourth quarter. But San Diego's defense has been stingy.
Good moment for George here.
De Leon wearing the 6th attacker jersey. Will we see a 6th attacker dagger, as I like to refer to it? Maybe I'll trademark it. I don't know. I'm feeling frisky. Palmer into De Leon. De Leon did have Perez open for a moment. Fabian over to Palmer. Palmer, who's been a dime dishing dynamo this entire season, currently leading the Strikers in that category. Less than a minute remaining here in the quarter. Ortega, he gets taken down. It's going to be Soccer's ball. Be a restart here as Cardenas settles on it. A number of outlaws that we see on the turf. between Cardenas and Morales and De Leon and Mendez. The Outlaws have produced a talented crop of players.
That's a good crop of players.
Players that are creating legendary careers for themselves indoors. 45 seconds. Hearing a little bit of Zombie Nation on the loudspeakers here at Toyota Arena. No zombies on the turf, though. Both teams very much engaged. Shot by De Leon. That's going to come off of Mendez. Recovered by Alami. Picked up by Ciro, who scored the last goal of the game. He's sandwiched in between three Sockers. That's a whistle. No question about it. And a blue. Tarjeta Azul. Oh, getting chippy on the turf between both teams. And Ciro goes down, pushed by Quintana. The officials need to get a hold of this before we have mayhem on the turf. Talk about passion, both teams going at one another. And Mendez is going to have a dialogue with his old teammate De Leon. Clearly no love lost between these former Outlaws.
Game's on the line, there are no friends. The emotional pendulum has swung, hasn't it?
Well, the momentum is starting to shift in the direction of the Fury. But that won't matter unless they can capitalize. Both De Leon and Mendez head to the penalty box. Let's take a look at the replay again. There's the battle as Ciro was sandwiched in. Looked like he tripped for a moment. Let's take his finger going at his former teammate De Leon.
Yeah. He touched him. That's going to get you a blue card.
Well, we did see Quintana push down Ciro. Nothing transpired there. So we're being told by our wonderful production staff that the officials are reviewing the footage. So there might be some more, as we saw moments of carnage here in the third quarter.
That's dangerous stuff. You just see there. When I taught self-defense at college, that's that elbow you throw.
The last thing I'd ever want to do is run into your elbow, or anybody's elbow for that matter.
And then George saw it, and you know they know each other's personalities, and they're still chirping at each other in the boxes there, which is a funny thing. You know, you put guys just get into it right next to each other.
You'd see it in hockey. Players are still chirping at each other. See Mark Wolf and John Spire in the box. Can't have them become part of the game too. Mark Wolf operating with the scorekeepers, and John Spire, a longtime public address announcer here at Toyota Arena.
Just look at this, when he spins, see it?
All right, so the official goes into the pocket, pulls out that tarjeta azul, the blue card.
It's confirmed. I think they're going to leave Quintana alone, it looks like.
And I know that's not, for a second I thought we saw a challenge flag, but no, that's the sixth attacker jersey that George De Leon was wearing. All right, so it's going to be an interesting 4-on-4 scenario here. That could potentially fatigue these two teams.
Good.
Both teams competed against one another last night. The Strikers were up by a score of 7-5 in the fourth quarter, and then San Diego rattled off 5 unanswered goals. Finding a new gear, to quote the movie Spaceballs, they operated at ludicrous speed. But with 25 seconds remaining, it's going to be 4-on-4, and will it be Fabian or Palmer?
Fury definitely has the Schwartz with them now.
Appreciate that. Back pass into Orozco. Orozco into Fabian. Fabian, 20 seconds. Fabian, the pass in. Shot, skirted through, but off the wall. Cardenas, and that comes off of Orozco. Looks like it's got his hand.
Yeah.
And Orozco wanting a challenge. It says it hit him in the body. Now there's going to be a conference in the midfield between both teams.
I'm pretty sure, to me it looked like he chicken winged it and got it. It did hit him in the body, but he did chicken wing it. And so when you make that body gesture, you're going to get called.
So
just a reaction, look. Beep. See the arm?
Orozco has compiled some penalty minutes this season.
He's a competitor, that one.
Oh, he plays with tenacity and heart. No denying that.
That's just not a natural, you know.
So now the man advantage is going to favor San Diego, and as they've done time and time again.
Step it up. It's a clear goal scoring chance, so it's going to be a shootout for Childs, it looks like. Good placing, trying to get in his head. Hi, Craig, how you doing? You haven't missed in a while. You're really good right now.
So we came into this ball game. Here's something to pay attention to, folks. We came into this ball game with Craig Childs needing 2 goals to hit 300. He scored 1 earlier. If he can convert on this huge, momentous milestone opportunity for the captain, that will be 300. If he manages to convert on this. Objects coming out from the stands. Looks like those little mini stress soccer balls.
Third quarter balls.
Funny enough, Mitchell Cardenas, the recipient of both of them. All right, this is going to be an interesting moment. Clayson DeLima, known for his shot-stopping abilities, is going to face Craig Childs. I doubt DeLima wants to be a footnote in Childs' history. Will he be the goalkeeper to make the save? Childs, welcome to the 300 Club, Craig Childs. He now puts up the San Diego Sockers to a score of 7-4, up 3. Craig Childs, take a bow. You needed 2 goals to get to 300. You had 2 goals today. You now have 300.
Just look how calm he is. It's just such a, it's an art. It's an art, no pun intended. Just so calm, so calm. Just and it's so difficult for goalkeepers just to hold their stance, not try to get that angle to go, and just natural reflexes, and he just puts it away. Got scored on both ends, so he shared with the entire arena his exploit.
13 seasons, 6 championships, 3 league MVPs, 3 playoff MVPs, and 300 goals.
And the refs have got the crowd involved in the game, expressing their pleasure and their performance thus far.
That momentum, as I said, like the stoppage in play with the carnage that took place.
Yeah.
So now it's a 3-goal lead for San Diego with 10.3 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Johan Cruyff trained my college team, and he said, don't work too hard and don't work too little. And unfortunately, right there, Brian worked just a little too hard to stop the sequence, and it kind of cost us, or cost the team.
Was Johan Cruyff smoking a cigarette, as he was known to do back when he was rattling off that information?
The guy was brilliant, man. He had a clipboard, a soccer ball, and flats, and I had an all-region player doing a possession activity. He goes, no, steps in and just played, and it was an unbelievable sight just to watch him just teach the game. No, he was not smoking at the time.
You've been around a lot of legends. You've been around a lot of legends in your time as a player, as a coach. You've been around Cruyff. Heck, you've had conversations with the great Pelé. Is there anybody else that you talked to that I didn't know about?
Spent about an hour with Mick Jagger at Heathrow and Keith Richards. Talk football.
And you're still here. Oh, they're... What team did they side with? I totally forget. I know that Robert Plant of Zeppelin's a Wolverhampton fan, and I know that Paul McCartney's an Everton fan, but I can't peg who Mick and Keith would be fans of.
I don't recall. We were talking, my brother was playing with the U18 national team in a tournament in Italy, and so we were just talking international football. But I also sat next to Kevin Nealon on a flight to Vegas. My mom used to be a professional, love you mom, used to be a professional gambler, and he didn't say anything to me until I told him my mom was a professional gambler, and he started picking my brain, and I said, I know nothing about gambling. I just took the free rooms and food that my mom got.
I would love some of your mother's gambling advice. I put a lot of my thoughts on St. John's, and my bracket got busted for March Madness. I think I used a lot of emotion having grown up 10 minutes from that campus. Great soccer school, by the way.
Very. What school was that?
St. John's.
I
You
know.
said very, you didn't even know what?
No, the reason I said that is because I had a player who got a scholarship to St. John's when they were top 5 in the country. So, warm place in my heart for that program.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter, folks. Nearly through. No, the buzzer sounded. No goal for Marco Fabian. I know that's going to make the crowd really upset. The crowd being very vocal about their frustrations with the goal that Craig Childs scored. But no goal here at all as we head into the break. Moments away from the start of the fourth quarter, Craig Childs silences this crowd but scores his 300th career MASL goal, and we're only referring to those. Obviously with the PASL, those numbers are staggering. But we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, the final quarter here for the regular season at Toyota Arena. You are watching MASL TV.
The wait is over. The 2025 MASL season is here. Bigger and better than ever. Get ready for high-speed action, jaw-dropping goals, and fierce competition as your favorite teams battle it out on the field. With intense rivalries, unforgettable moments, and new stars rising, the MASL delivers excitement every week. Get your tickets now and be part of the excitement, because this season, the action is non-stop.
Are you looking for inspiration? The FYI podcast delivers stories of inspiring individuals like the Strykers, Marco Fabian, Momo, and their remarkable personal journeys.
Because you're going to see people from all parts of life. They're us, everyday people facing everyday obstacles, and how they overcome them is a blueprint for all of us to learn from.
If you want to be inspired, subscribe to the FYI podcast.
Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter. MASL Mondays, catch it every Monday night on MASL TV on YouTube and CBS Sports Golasso Network. The homies, Alex Bosch-Jabansky and Phil Levanko, are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. Disagree with the call tonight? And there have been a few. You might just see it on the MASL's most controversial show, Under Review, with the homie, once again, man's everywhere, Phil Levanko and MASL head referee Ryan Sigich. Catch it every Friday on YouTube. Playoffs? We talk about playoffs? Darn right we talk about playoffs. Tickets are available. Join our 8 teams in sunny San Diego as they square off in the MASL Ron Newman Cup playoffs. Visit frontwavearena.com to reserve your seats today. I'll be there. Artie will be there. The Sockers will be there. The question is, will the Strykers be there? Artie, it's been an exciting game so far.
Definitely.
Should have an explosive fourth quarter coming up
I would
here.
expect it. San Diego's getting a bit tired. They're a little slow on their rotation, a little slower on their rotation. So bodes well for the Strikers.
But you look at the shot differential between both teams, it's staggering. The Strikers have 34 shots, but only 4 goals to their credit. The Sockers, on the other hand, 13 and 7. This is the team that is clinical, and their conversion rate off the charts tonight.
Well, I think the last 2 goals for the Strikers kind of show you the difference in the quality of what goals come from there versus taking shots. You also have to look at how many opportunities are created from those shots from distance that are rebounding back forward to start the counter, and those create issues. So shots are good, but at the end of the day, you're not rewarded for shots. You gotta score goals.
Scoring goals is something that Craig Childs has done twice today. 2 off a shootout. Justin Stinson's also scored goals today. 2. And Israel Cisse's on the turf. That's sincerely not what you would want to have today. As trainers from both sides, both teams go to tend to the captain.
He stepped on his foot, it looked like, and then rolled it awkwardly outward. And Cisse doesn't go down.
No, he doesn't.
Not like this.
And he doesn't embellish, never known for that.
No, it's not in his DNA, it's not in his culture, it's not who he is,
Trainer for the Strikers, Daisy Zapien and then Paul Savage are both tending to Cisse, and even Drew Ruggles is having a conversation with the captain.
No disrespect to the Strikers trainer, but Savage going out there just shows you the person that Israel Cisse is.
You see Ruggles, you saw Cardenas, you saw Leo, you see Danny Waltman. A lot of respect for Israel Cisse, not only from his own teammates, but from players around the league, players from across Major League Soccer. And Drew Ruggles, Abdul Mansoure, Pee Wee Ortega, and both trainers are going to help up Cisse. Oh, captain, my captain, the heart and soul of this team. And it doesn't even look like he can put pressure down as Ciro and 2 members, it's Ruggles and I think that's Ortega, are helping the captain off. If this is the final moments that we will see the captain on the turf, you and I need to stand up.
100%.
My emotions are there. I'm trying to hold back the tears. This is the last way that I want to remember Israel Cisse. Israel, the heart and soul. That's got to get the crowd into this. That has to fire up the Fury tonight.
It's got to get him going.
And look at the display of sportsmanship as Drew Ruggles once again showing respect. That's the type of player Israel Cisse is. That's the level of attention and respect that he commands.
That's the type of man he is. As coaches, we always say we're going to treat you as a human being first. And that's the type of man he is. And I'm just happy that he was able to get off the floor and walk off there, because I know for him that meant a lot.
This is a very emotional day from so many perspectives. But of course, the main reason is because of number 23. If there is ever a player that deserves his number retired or a statue in front of this building, it is Cisse. He's been here from the get-go. He's been here since day 1. Nobody's had the tenure. Mansoure, Leo. Hansen with a shot to flex. And from what we're hearing, oh, there's an attempt. Another attempt. Mansoure! Abdul! Goal! Fury!
Perseverance pays. Perseverance pays. It just stayed on track, stayed on task. His job was to score goals, eyes wide open, waiting for the ball to come off, little paddle ball, little walla paddle ball, boom, off the wall. Thank you very much.
You
From a
said
seated
it.
Position.
Persistence does pay off, and for Mansoure registers his 8th goal. I don't think I ever gave a goal call quite like that. Now I know I don't have much in my vocal cords anymore, but it is emotional, and you'll have to forgive me. Seeing Cisse getting carried off the field brought tears to my eye. They're still misty.
What a response, though, for the captain, huh?
What a response. But the Strikers still down by 2 goals with 14-18 remaining. They have the time. The question is, do they have the gumption? Clayson DeLima still in the ball game.
That's tough.
That one goes out and into the box. Seems like Mendez and
Orozco have been in there for quite some time, and I want to give a quick shout out to my colleague down in Dallas, Robert Mullins. I know he gave a lot of love to the Texas Outlaws, but all the players we talked about also came from the Dallas Sidekicks.
Texas is a hotbed. Texas is a hotbed for talent.
Top of the arc restart for San Diego.
San Diego's clinical here. Philly, let's see what happens. Look at Childs wants it. You got Morales lurking on the bottom, exchanging panels.
Childs fires, and that comes off of Polo. Recovered by Palmer. Palmer to Hansen. Hansen looking to run. And that touch off of Childs. Polo recovers. Been dying for a Marco Polo gold call all season. Pass into Palmer. 18 seconds in the penalty box for the Sockers, 30 seconds for the Strikers. We're gonna get to even man advantage here. Pass in.
Oh, we got him.
Stinson! Justin Stinson breaks through, finds the pass, Danny Waltman. Stinson with the hat trick. Throw your sombreros out on the turf. It's a one-goal game, 7-6.
Just a quality, you know, we're just talking about it, you know, just the situational play, getting the ball. Alami once again, that kid just setting up the quality of the pass. Justin putting it away. You know, nothing from distance. 3 goals like that, 3 goals.
Gauging the temperature in this building, and it is hot. I've taken off my jacket. I've rolled up my sleeves. I'm taking my bow tie off. 7-6. What a ball game. Mansouri. Abdul with the equalizer. It's 7-7. Fury go. Brace for Abdul Mansouri.
Once again, speed. Can't defend speed. Just separate. Put him on his hip. Outside of the foot goal. This crowd is into it now, Philly. They're into it now.
I can't believe my eyes. The Strikers were down by 5 goals. They found their way into this game. The captain goes down. What a response from his teammates. Look at Mansouri as Mendez was trying to push him off the ball. Slides that through past Danny Waltman. And what a goal. Mansouri now with 9 on the season. It's a 7-7 game as you're seeing Israel Cisse on your screen.
Smiles from Cisse. It's a Bravo show.
13-14. I feel like I've been playing myself today.
Just look at the difference in the scoring chances, though. It's just a flip of fortune, right? San Diego is getting the higher quality situational goals, and now getting caught on the counters. San Diego's getting caught flat-footed, and Mansouri's speed, you just couldn't handle it. Ortega tried to defend high. He was never going to win that in the first place.
Abdul Mansouri has had a history of scoring goals against the San Diego Sockers. His most famous one coming in the mini game here in 2021 in the Ron Newman Cup Finals. 2021, I bring that year up for a reason. That was the last time that the Strikers made the playoffs. The last time in this building. The last time losing to the San Diego Sockers. A win tonight against their foes from down the highway. Can't say San Diego anymore, Oceanside would be just what they need to not only extend their season, to give the due diligence and respect to Israel Cisse, but to finally clinch a spot in the playoffs once again.
Well, I believe this score right here clinches it, yes or no?
Well, a win does.
The point?
Not, a regulation win. Oh, the smile cam is up. Thankfully, they don't have a camera on us. I look like a sweaty mess here. Between the emotions, Cohen falling, tears, tear ducts open. The emotions for Israel Cisse, and then the response, the quick response by the Empire Fury.
The quick, because there was 2 of them. 2 responses from Mansouri.
Pass off the wall. DeLima gets his hands on it.
Philly.
Can they go? They have the numbers. The pass in. Martinez's shot. That's going to come off of Charlie. Oye madre, soy amigo. I am gasping here. What a game. What an incredible game of indoor soccer. And for those that are new, tuning in for the first time, we see stuff like this time and time again. We're not calling it the greatest show on turf to puff out our chest and tell you something that's not true. No, this truly is the greatest show on turf. I believe it. Artie believes it. Around 7,000 fans in this building believe it. But will the Fury have the belief to win? And a timeout called by the Empire.
It's a good call. Organize it, get it set.
12 minutes and 55 remaining in this fourth quarter. It's going to be a long 12 minutes and 55 seconds.
Join the Hope Through Housing Foundation in empowering children and families in the Inland Empire and beyond through after-school programs and financial coaching. To learn more and see how Hope is making a difference, visit hopethroughhousing.org. We'd like to thank our official hotel sponsor, Ontario Airport Hotel, conveniently located just 2 miles from the Ontario International Airport and 4 miles from the Ontario Convention Center. So right now, just trying to get their senses, getting ready to play, get organized, put together a sequence to frame that's going to create hopefully a tap-in goal. Because right now, both teams have suffered from shots from distance or bad giveaways that create numbers up counters. I mean, gosh, they had a 3v1 right there. And, too bad. Looked like the ball got caught up on Momo a little bit, or a little slow roller on the change to Randy, but they had someone on the back stick if they could have put that together quicker. But they're catching them. They're catching them, they're catching them, they're catching them, and that's the whole thing. Creating imbalance on counters and finding that free guy. And the Strikers have changed their profile of scoring situations or chances in the second half, and it's paying off for them.
It'll be an intriguing chess match between Onu Obasi and Phil Salvaggio. We know Phil is an excellent coach. The Sockers are a well-coached team. They play with confidence. They play with poise. They play with chemistry. And this Empire Strikers / Fury team is really battled hard into this, but we know that the Sockers do have that extra gear that they can easily fall into. And let's see if that timeout is where they can capitalize on this, or will it be the Empire? The crowd very much into this one. Fabian over to Stinson. What a couple of games he's had as of late. What a season he's had. De Leon back over to Stinson.
You just talked about coaching right there, Philly. You saw there, I mean, Justin's had the hot hand, and you saw Pee Wee kind of spying like in football where the linebacker spies on the quarterback, and you saw Fabian get the ball, and he was looking to cut that to a little shortcut to Justin to run on with his right foot, but again, Pee Wee spying, shifted over and took away that chance. So two good coaches going at it right now.
A young coach and a veteran coach. The pass into Fabian to Alami. Alami, his assists today have been a big part of the Strikers' comeback.
He's had a very unselfish day.
Oh, and he's the type of player that could easily have scored the goals himself. But that unselfish trait is what's led to goals by Fabian and a couple others. Orozco back onto the turf. Nobody's in the penalty box. Stinson off the wall. Picked up. Fabian has it. Fabian can find another. Boy, the roof gonna blow off of this building. Seeing Fabian jerseys in the crowd. Fabian with an illustrious career. Gold medalist with Mexico in the 2012 London Games, where Mexico beat Brazil. Played with Chivas Squad de Guadalajara, a legendary club, one of the biggest clubs in Liga MX in Mexico. Won a trophy, the Pokal, in the Bundesliga with Eintracht Frankfurt, a team not known to win many trophies. He has been a part of so many success stories. De Leon gets the wrong end of his foot off. He would have had Waltman beat. Fabian fires. Oh! Waltman gets his paws all over Fabian's shot. It's as if time stopped the minute Waltman put his hands on it. Taken away by Mansoret. Oh! Abdul!
Oh boy. Oh boy. Just, mistake from Ruggles. Ruggles very smooth and silky on the ball, but he paid the price there. Got dispossessed. And then a little bit of razzle-dazzle.
Abdul Mansoureh, a hat trick. Abdul Mansoureh with a hat trick in the fourth quarter. All of his goals coming in the fourth quarter.
4 minutes and 5 seconds.
An uncharacteristic mistake made by a veteran like Drew Ruggles, and Abdul Mansoureh makes him pay.
The razzle-dazzle.
The first lead of the game for the Empire Strikers.
There it is. Can they close it out? That's the question now.
I not only throw my hat off to Justin Stinson, I not only throw my hat off to Abdul Mansoureh, I throw my hat off to all of you at home that have tuned in to what's been an epic ball game. Waltman steps outside his box. Cardenas facing pressure from Martinez. The pass into Morales. Morales and Mustafa Guy. We've seen Morales spin past Momo a couple of times. Cardenas into Keiko Gontan. He hasn't had too many minutes in today's ball game. Phil Salvaggio, no question, resting him, because this is a game that's more a matter of pride for San Diego. 7-4 record on the road, obviously wanting to add to that win total, but the Strikers playing for a lot more than San Diego. Stolen by Polo into Martinez. Martinez fires it. Ben Raymond getting in the way.
It's the legs. The back-to-back games starting to take a toll, looks like, on San Diego.
The pass in from Waltman into Childs. Childs off the wall. That nearly serpentines its way in.
Caught on a change.
Alami does not have the numbers, but he does have Martinez open. That's going to spread the ball and the defense a little bit. Martinez into Fabian. Alami wide open for a moment on that back right corner. Fabian's going to go to Polo Hernandez. Hernandez into Palmer. 9:32 remaining here in the game. The Strikers take their first lead 8-7 with one heck of a comeback powered by Abdul Mansoureh. Stinson over to Palmer. Ciro, he himself has found the back of the net once today. Stinson to Fabian. Fabian with the chest. Fabian tried to go with the scissor. Punted that a little too high and into the netting. It's going to be a goalkeeper restart for Waltman.
Good attempt. He's having some fun right there.
Oh, if you're not having fun, to quote Russell Crowe in the movie Gladiator, as cliche as it may sound now, decades later, are you not entertained? Quintana into Waltman. Waltman advancing a la Brian Orozco style. The fight between Morales. And Morales pulls down Alami. That's going to be a foul. Pulls him down right in front of the Soccer's bench. Morales questioning the officials as to why that was a foul. Mansoureh, there we see him chatting a little bit with the officials. Oh, as this game progresses, see if I have any more of a voice left. Unquestionably one of the most entertaining and fun games I've had the opportunity to call. It's an honor and a privilege to do this with you, my friend.
We've had some games to watch here, Philly.
We have,
We've
indeed.
had some games. Milwaukee, Chihuahua, now this one.
Ruggles is going to chip it through. Picked up by Orozco.
Again.
Quintana and Alami. Veneer and Christian. Quintana wins that one. And there's a whistle. Looks like, is it a foul against Ortega?
Yep.
I believe it is. Quick restart from Perez into Orozco. Orozco over to De Leon. Crowd starting to do the wave here at Toyota Arena.
They're getting into it.
And I got to tell you, not something I'm used to seeing. Off the wall, Fabian with the touch. Fabian with the turnaround. Oh, he gets his pocket picked by Leo. What defense. But off the wall, cleared by Quintana. Orozco has it, and the officials are going to blow their whistle. The crowd throwing objects onto the turf, putting a stoppage in play. That's not the first time that we've seen that, folks. I would say probably the fourth time. We saw two balls go directly to Mitchell Cardenas back in the third quarter. Not sure why anybody in the crowd would think it's a good idea to throw anything on the turf with this level of intensity in today's ball game. Hopefully the security starts to ring these people up and boot them out of the building.
Kind of took the flow of the game away too.
Palmer with Mendez right by him. Palmer clears it. Finds Fabian. What a touch by Fabian. It's got Hansen charging through. Trying to get by Ruggles, almost caught up on it. Slides it through into Hansen. Hansen over to De Leon. De Leon, nowhere to go. Over to Hansen. Hansen somehow gets through 3 Sockers players. Recovered by the Empire. Back heel, Fabian. What a pass, though, that made its way from De Leon to Fabian. Ruggles over to Leo. Leo over to Quintana. Quintana finds Sebastian Mendez. Mendez with a 3-on-1. They have the numbers. The pass into Ortega. Ortega to Ruggles. Goal, Sockers! The equalizer by Drew Ruggles. Bottom right corner where the dust mites dwell. The game is now tied at 8-8. Drew Ruggles once again silences the crowd.
A little even Steven for Ruggles there, getting the goal back that he gave away. But again, once again, look at Pee-wee's not even looking for the goal. He just sees that Ruggles on the back stick and just puts a quality pass to him, something that's easy to put away.
All right, folks, we're going to head to immediate timeout. Stick around, come back. 7:19 remaining in this game. 8-8. It could go anywhere.
The wait is over. The 2025 MASL season is here. Bigger and better than ever. Get ready for high-speed action, jaw-dropping goals, and fierce competition as your favorite teams battle it out on the field. With intense rivalries, unforgettable moments, and new stars rising, the MASL delivers excitement every week.
Silences the crowd. The score is now 8-8. Ruggles, his 11th on the season. He recently signed a 4-year contract with the Sockers. He's in his 11th season in the MASL. He did have 4 with Florida. Here's a man who was the 2019-2020 MASL Defender of the Year. Let's not forget, part of that Newtown Pride team that won the inaugural TST tournament, where head coach of the Empire Strikers, Anu Obasi, was at the helm. And if there's anybody that knows something about winning trophies in this league, well, Drew Ruggles is one of those guys.
Pretty silky player, very silky.
And we're not just talking about that hair. As you and I are starting to lose it a little bit, Ruggles in no danger of that.
Mine's lost. Mine's a drama on ABC.
Fabian with a lot of defense to contend with. That ball finds its way into Orozco. Strikers needing a regulation time win. I haven't checked the mathematics, but obviously a regulation time win for the Empire would propel them in to a postseason berth. Pass in to Perez. Talked about how the timeout might benefit San Diego as Phil Salvaggio, and no question, Captain Craig Childs had a stern talking to the team, and that goal by Ruggles was the response of that timeout.
Indeed, indeed. You know, just refocus, do what they do. You can see a little more pep in their step right now. Their rotations are a little tighter. Their lines are more accurate. Their angles are more precise.
Orozco into Ciro. Ciro back over to Martinez. Martinez into Perez. Perez slides it through to Fabian. Fabian back over to Perez. Perez into Orozco. Orozco scored goals from that distance. You can see that he's thinking about it. If we were in a comic book, you could see the thought bubble occurring above his head. Martinez back over to Orozco.
The goalkeeper's thought bubble. That's a coach's nightmare.
A mind is a terrible thing to overuse. The clock dwindling down, approaching the 5-minute mark. What a gem of a game we've had here. Seen a lot of impressive games throughout this entire MASL season. And I'm not going to go out there and say this is the best one yet, but it's got to fall easily within the top 10. Strykers looking to milk time off the clock, needing a goal though. Stinson into Ciro. Ciro with the dagger. The pass into Fabian. Raymond once again gets in the way. Stinson to Marco. Marco to Perez. Shot deflects. Off the wall, headed, picked up. Cardenas clears. Alami with the turnaround. Does not get enough pepper on that steak as Waltman recovers. Ben Raymond dumps it into Cardenas. Raymond, I know, loving his time in San Diego. From upstate New York, 2-on-1 opportunity. Alami to Mansouré. Abdul unselfishly passed it back to Alami. Might have benefited to take it selfishly. Abdul already with 3 goals in the 4th quarter. Sitting on a hat trick. Him and Justin Stinson have taken the bulk of the offense for the Fury tonight. And the Empire strike back. It's been quite some time since they've defeated the Sockers.
Just got a sprint to the end now.
Stinson to De Leon. De Leon with the turnaround. De Leon into Hansen. Hansen back over to De Leon. Leo gets in the way. Orozco's going to hustle back, recovered back by the Fury.
There's that press. That repress, getting the ball back.
Stinson to Fabian. If the game stays tied at the end of regulation, we're going into overtime. Golden goal. I don't know if my vocal cords can handle. Question could be asked about the players on both sides. Can their legs handle it? Basically playing an extra little mini game. The Fury have controlled the bulk of possession here these last 2 minutes. Fabian into De Leon. That's going to come off. Quickly recovered. Look at the back heel from George De Leon. De Leon into Hansen. Hansen over to Fabian. Chips it right into Waltman.
This is getting exciting. It's hard right now. Trying to not be a fan. That's a good ball.
The pass in over to Childs. Childs with the touch. Gets it stripped from De Leon. What do you mean it's starting to get exciting? It's been exciting, Artie. I got a correction, my bud. Orozco. Off of Mendes, picked up by Polo, taken away by Quintana. Stinson. Stinson.
He got milked a little bit. That's a little experience from Leo right there.
And he does push him, no question, but he's going to try to help him up. Sockers try to go for the quick restart. And I think Leo just laying there kind of denied them the opportunity to have a quick counter. I mean, that wasn't an egregious or physical infraction.
No, just a veteran maneuver.
Morales and his old teammate Mendez. 2 very prolific talents in this league. Palmer and Orozco wisely lets it come back into the box. Playing with a little bit of danger to him as Palmer finds Orozco. Headed by Ruggles. Picked up high by Martinez. Palmer has it. Recovered by San Diego. Palmer pokes it over to Orozco. Orozco advances it. Alami is going to pressure Ruggles. Waltman wisely kicking it off the wall into Ruggles. Minute 17 left. The pass, a beautiful pass, and a nice touch by Gonzalez. Charlie with Ciro marking him. Over to Ruggles, back over to Charlie. Charlie facing pressure from Ciro, connects with Cardenas. Cardenas on the other side with Gutierrez. Gutierrez opened up the scoring for both sides early in the first quarter. Less than a minute remaining here at Toyota Arena. We gonna head into OT, or somebody gonna close the chapter on this one? The pass in from Raymond to Gutierrez. Zombie Nation playing once again on the loudspeakers. Charlie into Cardenas. Cardenas finds the captain. Childs had Gutierrez open, but Mustafa Guy, Momo, say no mo.
A little too much mustard on that pass, Philly.
Zero in traffic. Back over to Palmer. 30 seconds remaining. Alami not going to get to it as it's picked up by Gonzalez. Gonzalez into Cardenas. Wide open is Greg Childs. Calling for it into Gutierrez. 20 seconds. 18. The pass into Raymond. Back over to Childs. Mansoray. Raymond has it. Barring physics. That should potentially do it.
Overtime.
Both teams are going to secure a point, and we're heading into overtime with the score 8-8. The Strikers briefly led in this ball game 8-7, but a quick goal from San Diego denies the Strikers had an opportunity to win in regulation. And we're going to head into overtime, folks, where, as we know, anything can happen. Both teams are going to secure a point. The only question that remains is who's going to take the extra one. 8-8, you are watching the Major Arena Soccer League on MASL TV. Back for overtime in a minute.
With 6 miles, runway 6 right, right on.
Indoor soccer fans, it's time to unleash a giant leap for fandom. Introducing MASL Indoor Soccer Fantasy Football. Build your dream team, invite your friends, and create your own draft league, all for free. Draft and trade players and win bragging rights as your team dominates the league. With MASLI Football, you're not just a fan, you're part of the action. Go to MASLI Football to sign up, get started, and play.
We head into this overtime period with both teams deadlocked at 8-8. The Empire Strikers finish off regulation with 44 shots to San Diego's 15. San Diego has 8. I repeat, 8 goals on 15 shots. That's 53.3% efficiency. The Strikers have been peppering the Sockers all day long. But if they wouldn't have had a keeper as talented as Danny Waltman, and the same case could be said about Bars Pardo as well, this would be a completely different ball game. Danny Waltman very much kept the Sockers in this. There you see a nice hug between him and Brian Orozco. It's loud in here, Artie.
Indeed, indeed. I think 2 points will get it done for them, right? Because 2 points puts them at 35. Stars top off at 35, then it would go goal difference. Right?
Well, I'm not about to get my mind mended on the math just yet. What I do know is a victor needs to be crowned. 10 minutes in regulation to do so. Recovered. Hansen. The pass in. Leo. Intercepted by Hansen. That pass was intended from Leo to Ben Raymond.
Weary legs pass right there.
Both teams got to be feeling pretty tired, especially getting into this frame of the game after having played less than 24 hours ago. Stinson getting by Cardenas. Off the wall. Hansen. Oh! Saved by Danny the Wall. Danny Waltman.
His last name does start with W-A-L.
Wall ball. Stinson kicks it right off of Leo. What a game we've had. Pass off the wall into Stinson. Shot saved by Waltman. Picked up by Stinson. Ball is loose. Danny Waltman falls right on it. Quickly rolls it over to Leo. Childs was wide open, but Fabian gets his feet on it. And that's going to come out of play.
You saw Mansouri scoring a hat trick and tracking Childs back there on the change.
Mansouri playing in what has been one of his finest games in his indoor soccer career. Out of London, England, went to college in Wilmington, Delaware. 3 big goals in the fourth quarter. Pass in, Martinez, a 2-on-2, tracking back as Quintana. Martinez is going to slow things down. Into Fabian, who just came in. Fabian fires it, just misses to the right. Off the wall and to Palmer. Palmer into Martinez. 90 seconds into the overtime. Martinez into Orozco. Who is going to don that Superman cape? Who's going to go into the phone booth and take away that Clark Kent status? Put on that Man of Steel cape. Fabian to Ciro. Martinez is going to come off. In comes Stinson. Stinson with a hat trick. Pretty cool to get that done in front of your dad when he's coming to check out a game. Ciro. I know you've had many proud moments, my friend. Rest in peace, Joseph the Jet Kyrell.
This very arena.
A big goal against the Milwaukee Wave back during that 2019-2020 season.
That's one of my greatest moments.
On Israel Cisse night, looking down at the captain, he is standing. And the Strikers reward him his final regular season game in his career here at Toyota Arena. The pass from Stinson to Alami. Alami has had a fine game in the Ciro. Ciro off the wall, broken up by Quintana, recovered. And Alami is going to get called for the foul. The push on Mendez directly in front of the official. Quick restart here for San Diego. A long pass into Morales. Morales with the shot. Oh, that would have been a que golazo moment. Morales has shown that capability to give us some unbelievable jaw-dropping goals.
Hero or zero moment right there for Morales.
That ball comes out of play as both Hansen and Cardenas fell to the turf.
That was fortunate for Cardenas.
Trying to recreate a goal that he had after pickpocketing Ruggles. Pass from Mendez into Gutierrez. Gutierrez into Ruggles. Off the wall. And Orozco is going to settle things. He's going to call. He's going to call for a timeout. 6 minutes and 10. Both teams going at one another like prize fighters, just trying to bait and see what the other one's going to throw. Neither team really throwing any threatening possessions or having any threatening goal-scoring moments.
Yeah, you know, it reminds me of the NCAA wrestling was this weekend, championships wrestling, and it kind of looks here, you know, in those finals, guys just not looking to make that mistake to pounce upon, and that's kind of where they're at right now. Making sure that everything's safe and simple. You want to be that guy.
Crowd tonight in the building.
getting privy to a very exciting game. And I'm sure there's quite a few people that are in the stands today that have never seen an indoor soccer game. And I would imagine there's quite a few watching on their TVs at home or whatever streaming platform devices they have that are thinking to themselves, this is a really good game. And there are probably people that within the first couple of quarters tuned out after the score was 6-1, 5-1, and hopefully they came back because what a game we've had.
Definitely a good game. And I just wanted to give a quick shout out to our production crew, what they do. It's been awesome. You know, our camera crew keeping it. I know sometimes watching games is difficult, but our camera crew has done a great job at focusing in on the things that we need to. So I just want to throw them out there because I'm really excited about this game and I don't want to forget before it's over.
Oh, of course not. Each team still has one more game left in the regular season after this one. We'll highlight that at the conclusion of tonight. The question's going to be if somebody's going to win it in overtime or whether we're going to go to a shootout. Can't say we've seen many shootouts here at Toyota Arena over the past couple of years. There have been a few, but it's been some time since we've gotten to call one.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Probably have to go back to at some point last season.
Well, you know, with the crowd, it's apropos, right? Then it goes to a shootout so they get the full breadth of what this league and game can offer.
We hear the seventh man Ontario Fury / Empire Strikers theme song playing.
Love this song.
Buddy Trevor, who sang the song, part of a big boys band back in the day. And for those who haven't heard the Empire Strikers theme song, I highly recommend you go over to YouTube and listen to the seventh man. That one always jazzes me up. Used to have that song on repeat back in the day when I was just a fan before I started a pod or even became part of the broadcast for this franchise. Ortega wide open is Gutierrez. Hansen's going to come back. Palmer pushes Ortega off of it. Kicked into the air by Orozco. Raymond has Mansoray. Mansoray gets through. Ball is loose. Waltman backheeled by Mansoray. Oh, another opportunity. Hansen. Oh, out of position to go. Oh, what a goal! That should go down as your goal of the year. Look at the stunned face of Brian Orozco. The San Diego Sockers win in overtime. Good golly almighty, unbelievable goal. Let's see that again.
Holy Toledo, look at Leo, just technique, technique, technique. Just look here. So questionable, maybe no call. Eyes up. There it is.
Oh,
bender.
Leo de Oliveira silences this crowd with arguably one of the greatest goals you will see, and not surprised that was an indoor soccer goal.
Is there some irony that it's a former Fury player and teammate of Israel Cisse that puts that goal in today?
Either way, what a game. The San Diego Sockers defeat the Empire Fury. They sweep the series this year. But what a game. It could have ended easily as far as the scoring line, the way it worked in the second and the third quarter. The Fury valiantly fought their way back into the ball game, led by Abdul Mansoray in the fourth quarter, who had a hat trick. But what a gem of a game.
Final scramble created by Waltman.
And, I mean, Danny Waltman's got to be one of the players of the game. The amount of saves that he's made. I mean, we wouldn't be talking about this in overtime. Heck, I don't even think we'd be in overtime had Danny Waltman not been the starter for today's game. Making his, 165th start of his indoor career. The man hadn't picked up a ball in almost 2 seasons. What does he do? He comes in right off the gate. An incredible kick save that would tear the groin off of most professional athletes. He comes in, denial after denial, goal save after goal save, and while the Strikers / Fury did manage to crawl their way back, he had still can't deny the game that he had.
Tremendous game. Tremendous game. Like I said, more goalkeepers are going to start playing their guitars and putting on shows because just the serenity that he had in there, just staying cool, calm, collected, keeping it together, just amazing. And what goals we had today. Tremendous goals. You know, entertaining to the highest of levels.
This is a prime example as to why indoor soccer is so fun. Look at that save by Orozco denying Craig Childs. And that's something we also have to comment on once again, is Craig Childs had a couple of goals into tonight's game. Craig Childs now officially part of the 300 club with goals scored in the Major Arena Soccer League. He had a milestone type of a night. Several players on both sides of the turf had incredible games. Israel Cisse, in his final regular season appearance for the Empire, was honored oh so well. Big part of the pregame festivities, the halftime, and he came off with what appeared to be a rolled ankle, and that propelled his team. It lighted a fire underneath them to get themselves back in the game. The Strikers didn't crumble under pressure. They came back and fought valiantly. But as we've seen, time and time and time again, season after season after season, any time that the Strikers/Fury would find themselves in a competitive affair with the Sockers, it would come down to the Sockers winning. And folks, we're heading down to Panda as she's going to have a quick chat with the hat-trick hero of the fourth quarter for the Fury, Abdul Mansoureh. Take it away, Panda.
Hey guys, I'm here with Abdul Mansoureh, who had a hat trick tonight in one of the craziest games, I think, all season, which, no surprise, against the San Diego Sockers. These matchups are always intense. Talk to me a little bit about how you guys were able to dig deep in that third quarter and really turn this game around.
I mean, I only got one word, Israel Cisse. He's been a big mentor to me. When I saw that we were down in the game like that, I was just like, this is not a game that fits what he has brought to this organization. So I knew that I had to step up, and I knew the club and the team needed to step up, which the team did. I feel like we all came together to really at least give him a good farewell. Obviously not what we planned for, but in the end of the day, we at least wanted to give that fight that he's given to this crowd and this organization for so many years.
You certainly gave this crowd something to get behind. It was an amazing game. Again, not the result you guys wanted, but certainly shouldn't hang your heads on this. I think if I did the math correct, you guys should be clinched for that 8th spot now, at the very least, for playoffs. We'll see how it all plays out, but let's focus on you for just a second. You got a hat trick. That's definitely something to be celebrated. Talk to us about those moments there that you were able to really get behind the ball in quick succession, too.
I mean, I just want to give it all to God. It's not me. I really, this month has obviously been hard with Ramadan and fasting, and just all glory goes to God. All I do is try and walk in the path that he leads for me every day.
You definitely had something there helping propel you. Congratulations on a hard-fought game. You guys got a point. Nothing to hang your heads about. Can't wait to see how the rest of this season shapes up. All right, thank you. Back to you guys.
What a amazing display of respect that Abdul Mansoureh showed and shared for Israel Cisse. He said it. The captain goes down. What did he do? He took it upon himself to do what he could to help the team back in the game. And look, the Strikers/Fury would have not gotten in overtime had it not been for Abdul Mansoureh doing what he just talked about in his interview with Panda.
I mean, it's crazy how emotions play a big part in this game, and you know, you just so pleased. I mean, I'm so pleased and proud to have been a part of Israel Cisse's tenure here, meeting him as a footballer, as a person, and just echoing what Abdul said. You know, you just want to do things for that man, you know, and he motivated him and put on some razzle dazzle, pulled a point. You know, is this the first crack? You know, that's the question now for the Strikers, is that crack. Can that crack lead to bigger cracks in the next time they see them? They only need to beat them once right now, right? And they only need to beat them once right now, and that they get that next opportunity maybe at Front Wave again.
Well, fingers crossed for that. The season's not over for either side as the San Diego Sockers host the Tacoma Stars on Sunday, March the 30th. That game will kick off at 6:05 Pacific Standard Time. And as far as the Strikers are concerned, they have one more as well. They're going on the road to take on the Dallas Sidekicks. They're going to be playing at Credit Union of Texas Event Center on Saturday, March the 29th. That's going to be played at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I believe yours truly will be on the call for that game. What an impressive display of athleticism and goal-scoring prowess by each side. Again, I want to show my respect to the San Diego Sockers, an incredible season. I want to show my respect to Craig Childs, getting 2 goals in this game and securing 300. I want to show my respect
to Danny Waltman for playing a great game as a keeper. Welcome back, Danny the Wall. The Empire Strikers, Justin Stinson with a tremendous performance. Abdul Mansoureh with a tremendous performance. A lot of great saves by Brian Orozco. But at the end of the day, it's all, to me, about Israel Cisse. In his 198th appearance, a club legend is going to be remembered for his time here, for everything he's done for this organization, everything he's done for indoor soccer, both kinds of soccer as well, outdoor, what he does as a coach with Fury FC, a big part of the Inland Empire community, and just an incredible story. Escaping the war-torn streets of Sierra Leone, finding a home in Maryland, high school in Florida, a career with the LA Galaxy, and now finally, in his last game for the Empire Strikers, Israel Cisse, captain, my captain, I have nothing but love for you, and thank you for everything that you've done. Final thoughts, Artie?
Just tremendous send-off for Israel Cisse. You know, the fact that he went down and his teammates rallied around him, the respect that he received from the other team coming over and checking on him. Just outstanding performances across the board. But, you know, as a footballer, when you leave the game as a player, you know, you remember that last performance and how you walk off and the things that go on. And, you know, the wins are wins, or losses are losses. But at the end of the day, Israel Cisse saw his team look at him sitting on that bench and say, we got you. I'm getting chills, man. We got you. We love you. And we're going to do the best that we can. At the end of the day, in Israel Cisse's last game versus the San Diego Sockers, his team had his back and pulled a point. They got something out of this game, Philly. And they were down and out. They were down and out and showed the caliber and the quality reflective of a captain, of a man who's been part of this organization for so many years. And they had his back. And you can't buy that. You can't sell that. You earn that. And this man earned that tonight. And I'm just so, he was such a force to my son Joseph coming here. Waltman was such a force as a pro. These guys like Danny, guys like Israel Cisse, these guys literally give their clothes off their back to fans, right? Just it's amazing to me how these guys just. I worked with Cisse doing camps. He just loves this game and he loves these kids and he loves that he's able to give back. And the stories that he tells of him and that bazillion-dollar smile that he has, right? And what he carries inside his heart, but he still has the humanity to share what he has. The entire Cisse family, proud day, proud moment.
Proud day indeed. What they do take is a point off the table from San Diego. It's still one more game to go against the Dallas Sidekicks. My man, it's been a pleasure sharing the booth with you this season. I'm hoping that you and I get to do this again 12 more times at the very least next season.
100%.
This isn't the end that you've seen of me, folks. You'll hear me again for the Empire Strikers Dallas Sidekicks game, and fingers crossed you'll see me down in Front Wave. Again, on behalf of myself, Christian, Philly, Philemon, Artie, Kyrell, and our wonderful production staff, Jason Hernandez, everybody in the production booth. You were watching the MASL on MASL TV. Philly and Artie, we're out, and we'll see you next season.